Hey, how's it going? We're Adventures Lollygagging. We are playing Change Stars tonight. Little one shot this week as we are playing a game that is up on Kickstarter right now. I'm going to drop a link for it in our chat. If you're watching this later on VOD or on YouTube or something like that, you should go to Kickstarter. Look up Change Stars. You can see what we're playing. We're doing a little quick start. It's a short adventure. Kind of touches on a couple of the systems and things like that. And yeah, it'll be pretty fun. It's a space sci-fi sci-fi game. So you're going to see different alien species. We're going to be running around on a moon base, which has never gone bad for anybody on this channel. So it should be fun. Before we get going, a couple other things we do on our own channel. We play other games, mostly on Mondays, Fridays, and Saturdays at this point. Fridays we're usually playing Delta Green until we do these types of one shots. Saturdays we play Worlds Without Number in the afternoons, and on Mondays we play Alien or we play Things from the Flood. So yeah, one of those two. And I guess let's sort of dive in. Oh God, Chuck's here. He's hitting the fart. He's hitting the fart Nightbot command. I forgot that was still there. Thanks. I think there's a Jeremy one in there too, Chuck. So let's talk a little bit about the game. I'm not going to go too heavily into the lore. I'll leave that for you all to discover on your own. And thank you for the raid, DieselShot. DieselShot are the group, our friends who are developing this game. It's over on Kickstarter now. There's still time to back. It's made over 10K. Lots of money. Lots of cool little stretch goals and things. So you should go back it. If you like what you see, you should go back it. If you don't like what you see, it's probably because we just screwed it up, and you should go back it anyway. So it's one of those two things. So we yeah, let's just go through who everyone picked, because we're playing pre-mades and such. There's a nice big list. If you get the quick start that's over on drive-through, you can kind of pick from a variety of different choices. It's different combinations of kind of classes or archetypes, I should say, and alien species and things. Everyone picked something different, so we didn't have any double ups. And now I'm going to quiz them on what they know about their species. And we're going to start alphabetically with Ashley. Ashley, who did you pick to play? What are they? What can they do? That kind of stuff. Species, etc.
I picked Bright Gold Sun, obviously, because of their name. Perfect. They're Viir. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Their archetype is they're a roughneck. And yeah, Viir weevils, and um,
And you just learned what those are, right? Like we just
yeah.
we just
I
talked
mean,
about
I
that.
had an idea that they
Yeah,
were a bug, but then like I saw it and I was like, okay,
yeah.
got it.
They got big noses, full snouts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they got cute little noses.
cute.
Um, you know, if you like bugs,
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
yeah, and
Little
one
snoots.
one cool thing that I lost it. It's gone.
Hmm.
But yeah, I have my edge break. It just works. I'm basically the mechanic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I've got 4 hands.
Yeah, we'll talk a
Uh,
little bit about edge breaks later. Hopefully, one or two will come into play as we get going. But if not, we'll cover them here and there. And you have like what kind of skills are you good at? Like, because in this game, there's 4 different attributes, and each attribute's got like 3 different skills that are associated with it. So, what kind of stuff do you find yourself with points in? What is golden? Whatever
Mechanics
it is.
is really good for me. Endurance, resolve, in systems. Those are my big 4.
Okay, awesome. Let's keep it going. Derek, you're up next.
Yes, so I am playing Aylari Lu, or yeah, Aylari Lu. I think I'm gonna go by A for short. And I am a Rast species, so space otter essentially with like tentacles. And they come from a planet that was basically like an ocean with plenty of islands. Although the majority of my species actually lives in space, which I thought was kind of great because space is basically just a giant island if you think about it, and the planets are or is a giant ocean and the planets are little islands. So do our thing out
Pretty on
there.
brand.
Yeah, exactly. So because I remember it saying like don't consider them nomads because they live in spaceships just in space. I'm just like, well, yeah, if space is the ocean, then they're living in their home. But my archetype is face, so I'm the empath of the group, basically like Mantis from Guardians of
Nice.
the Galaxy. So communication, insight, feels, I do it all.
I think it's perfect for you because whenever I think of Derek, I think he's a very empathetic person. He's just, he's.
Totally has nothing to do with his degree.
Yeah.
I find it interesting that you pronounce it archetype. That's interesting.
Yeah, I just
What did
that's
I
how I do
say?
it.
No, I'm not saying I'm an archetype. I do the hard
Archetype.
ch. You're doing the that's fine. It's fine. Bottom
I'm on
row.
2 hours of sleep, Jeff.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry. Bottom row. Who are you, Long?
Yeah, I'm playing Tamara. She's a pilot, so I'll be good at all those. What is it? Maneuvering, ballistic sort of skills.
I thought you were gonna say
Yeah.
pilot things.
Yeah,
Good at
I
pilot.
did too. I
things.
thought that was the end of that.
the race is a Thren, so it's pretty much they've got all these like horns, long ears, cartilages, pieces on their faces, and it looks like they're pretty highly evolved species. They have efficient means of space travel and all that. Part of the Federation. Yeah, it's like a space tiefling.
Yeah,
compared to
that's how I remember them. Like my own personal notes. You said your name was Tamara. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. And you said you're a pilot. Okay. All right. Sounds good. What kind of if you were to pick like a kind of ship you would be flying, would you be like the type of person who like flies like really small ships, big ships? Like, are you just like a glorified Uber driver, or are you like a fighter pilot type? Like, what would you be?
Probably like a smaller, faster ship. So
Okay.
like a solo speedster thing.
All right, that works.
Not the space minivan.
No. A long haul
We-
trucker.
Come on,
We
we're
do need
going on
another
a trip.
van.
Yeah, it's true. Oh God. And then finally Melissa.
So I am playing Dalente Core. So I went with human. And in the kind of discussion of humans is that they go through a holistic occupational placement examination. And a lot of humans are determined to be good for Marines service. So I'm playing a Marine. So the skills that I am good at are resilience and alacrity, not so much with the cognition and not so much with the empathy.
Okay. And Dalente Core is what you called yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess I didn't really ask y'all like what you all look like. So if you were, I'm not sure if there were physical descriptions in the quick start or not, or if you just kind of came up with your own. But what would be a physically defining feature, like something like the first thing somebody sees, like a type of clothing, something you carry with you, facial expression, tattoo, something like that?
I'll go first.
Oh, you got it. Okay, you got something.
Because my race has like all of those tentacles.
Mhm.
Mine are unique in the way that they all look like little handlebar mustaches. They have that nice little curl at the end of them.
Handlebar mustache curl. Okay. All right. What was your character's name again?
Aylari Lu. I
Aylari.
think I'm saying that right.
All right. Got it. All right. Handlebar mustache curls under your tentacles. I like it. Okay. Anything else? Ashley, do you have something?
Bright Gold Sun is super obsessed with human makeup. So depending on the day, I've just got slathered like lipstick, just kind of like along my entire mouth.
And you're a roughneck too. This is a wonderful juxtaposition of things.
Yeah,
Slathered
I'm
human.
gorgeous. If I had hair,
Oh,
it would
God.
be permed and it would be bleached blonde.
Oh God, we're doing that, huh?
Yeah.
The Moonbase is on New York. It's New York, New Jersey.
Did
it's,
you
it's
know
the
suddenly-
tri-state
She
area.
Donda's in space.
I just look in Jeff's eyes,
It's
and
the
suddenly
tri-state
I
area.
slip into a saucy kind of Jersey Shore, New
what-
York accent.
Jersey Shore.
Yeah,
That's never mind.
it's two different places,
Never
but
mind.
they merge.
And then Long or Melissa, do you have something that physically stands out? Something
Yeah,
first thing?
I have long droopy ears.
Okay. Long, droopy ears. I like it. Okay. Very nice. Melissa, did you get something?
So I'm going to go with kind of always in some type of kind of military clothes. So like kind of comes pre-equipped with the impact vest And so kind of like wears that at times when it really isn't necessary. And then wears kind of the Marine clothing as well at general social occasions. So like super into being a Marine.
Okay, I like it. So I've got Gold. I don't remember the rest of the name. All I remember is Gold. Who is a
Like gold
yeah.
sun. You
You're
just think of the song.
you're a weevil. You're a space weevil who slathers human lipstick on their elongated snout. It's pretty
Yeah.
great.
I put like those fake eyelashes, but I don't put them on like the correct parts of my body. So like sometimes they're like on my nose, like sticking out like nostril hair. It's creative.
Okay. And then Derek's Aylari, who is a space otter whose tentacles curl at the bottom like handlebar mustaches. Long is playing Tamara, who is like a space tiefling with long droopy ears. And then Melissa is Dalente Core, who is a Marine who frequently wears or always wears military garb. Got it. Okay. All right.
Like to imagine that they stand at attention at all times too, even when like relaxing socially.
Yeah.
Yes, posture is impeccable.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I have the link for the Discord up. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, that's where we hang out most of the time. The Defenders of Cobalt were nice enough to like give us a little space so we didn't have to do our own, and so we kind of have our own little corner on their Discord. So if anybody wants to come say hi to us and also to the Defenders, that's the link for it right there. Okay, I think we're ready to get started. Everyone's read the rules. Everyone knows exactly how to play. We're not going to make a single mistake tonight. It's going to be a pristine play without any confusion.
Do you know us, Jeff?
Yeah, that's why I'm being incredibly
To
sarcastic
change my
right
character's
now.
name to Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins. Okay. All right. I find it interesting that this is a moon base because we just did a space base that bad stuff happened. Like every other month we do a moon base, and plus the alien game right now is on a moon, and it's just not going well. Okay. So let's get going. Get a little mood music. Lower the lights.
If it was true mood music, it would be pure silence because sound doesn't travel through space.
This is a little too, I don't know. This sounds a little too like scary, or like we're gonna do a cyberpunk bar. I'm using tabletop audio tonight. There we go. Because that's kind of where you're at. All right. So this scenario takes place on the moon known as Alza. Specifically, you are within a small moon base called Alza 5, which is known for having kind of like a fairly large landing pad area. If you want to picture it, it's got like these two habs that are connected by a long corridor. So think of like a dumbbell that's been smushed into the ground is kind of what we're looking at. There's all sorts of slanted metal habs and such. There's that pressurized corridor that connects those two areas, and it's kind of a gray rocky moon. And you all would know that the atmosphere is not necessarily a breathable one, so you don't really want to go wandering around too frequently without any sort of life support suit. So we pick up, because this is not a place where any of you live or anything like that. We're really just, you have a layover. You have a layover in Jersey. You're trying to pick up your connecting flight to somewhere else, somewhere better. And all of you are hanging out within a lounge on this moon base. And you've been on a space flight for a while with each other. And although you might not necessarily be friends, space flight is slow and methodical, and often there's like cryo and stuff that kind of helps with some of this to fill some of the gaps. But you've been spending time talking with one another, just passing the time as one does. And you all have been spending a little bit of time here within this fairly simple lounge, waiting for your ship to effectively just get refueled, is what we're at. So if you want to think about it, it's not necessarily this massively fancy cyberpunk bar, but it is a modest room. There's a handful of like these colored tubes, these lighted tubes with plants that probably are both used for some sort of purpose, but also maybe just aesthetically pleasing. There's several couches and tables and chairs that have been spread about. There's a couple other folks here. There's an attendant that's in the corner who has kind of pointed you all to where you can get some complimentary water and what's called Pontiff's Red, which I'm going to assume is a wine cooler because that's what I want it to be. And you've all been hanging around for a little bit of time. The space PBR, yeah, that makes sense. I like that. So all of you are probably sitting at the same table. I'm not sure exactly what you're basically doing, but I am curious about like where. And I'm gonna put all you on the spot really quick, but everyone's hanging around. You're in an airport bar, okay? And if you've ever hung out in an airport bar, sometimes you talk about where you're going, where you're not going, stuff like that. And sometimes you make stuff up. So as the conversation between the four of you goes on, like, what are you telling the others about where you're going or where you're from? Like, are you going somewhere for work, for pleasure? What exactly? Why are you traveling right now? So anybody who wants to jump in, and by that I mean Ashley, go ahead and share.
My wife left me last weekend, so I just figured I had to go. I needed to get a new start. And what are you doing here?
Okay.
I don't know why that voice is sticking to me.
I mean, when I think of a giant space weevil, like, that's pretty much the voice I think of. Yeah, that works. Okay. So Derek, what are you telling others about where you're going and/or where you're from?
So I'm just going out to Norfair. I like to just learn about other cultures and how other people just spend their time in this great wide universe that we're all a part of. I'm just here to learn, here to discover.
Okay. All right. And I'm not asking whether or not you guys are telling the truth, by the way. I just want to know what you've told people. Long, what is Tamara of the Long Droopy Ear clan explaining to everybody about your travels?
There's a big Grand Prix coming up. I got a race. There's a bunch of races. Looking to hit first.
Okay. Like you're racing like shuttles and stuff?
Pod racing.
Pod racing. Okay. Cool. We're not gonna get sued. But okay. Yeah. Pod racing. Excellent. And then
pods.
Okay. And then finally, Melissa, what are you telling people about why you're traveling?
So there's this awesome gun range that you got to keep your skills up, and it's just the best out there. There's all the scenarios, and you get to try out all the best weapons, and it was amazing. You guys should all totally go and check this out.
Okay. I like it.
I mean, it's kind of hard to talk to the person next to you with all the gunshot sounds, though. I mean, how's that any fun?
But afterwards, everyone talks about what their best shot of the day was, what the best course was. There's so much to talk about, but it's great because for like 2 hours, you don't have to talk to anybody. And there's nothing wrong with spending 2 hours without talking to anyone and just firing a weapon.
The whole time we're talking, by the way, I'm just like twirling a cigar between various tentacles.
Okay. Swirling a cigar. Is it a lit cigar?
Oh, yeah. I'm like taking a drag from it every now and then, but just like,
Okay.
People do pen tricks. I'm doing that with a cigar.
Do you remember if Rast tentacles are functional?
I actually don't remember. I kind of was just rolling with it because I like the
Okay.
idea. Let me double.
I like it.
check.
We'll say it is. We'll say it is. I like it. Okay. Anybody else doing anything in particular to bide the time? Crossword puzzle, that kind of thing?
I'm dancing.
You're dancing? Okay.
Yeah.
The music that's happening right now is this is the closest thing I got, but it sounds a little bit more like cyberpunk elevator music. So if you want to think about it in those terms.
I'm doing like weird hippie stuff where she's just
Okay.
vibing.
Okay.
So like that one dance gif of the expert dance coach.
More than once, the attendant who is keeping an eye on you all and making sure you all know, where you can get your refreshments. Jane Slater, she comes over and she says,
Sweetheart, I don't mean to be, I don't want to rain on your parade, but there's there's no real dance floor. It's no. You know what? You be yourself. It's good.
How else am I supposed to get in my cardio?
Okay, that's good. You know, get a little cardio in between.
You wanna
okay.
dance with me, darling?
I do want to dance with you.
And I will grab her by her arms and I
Okay.
will twirl her and we will dance.
Okay. And so for a while you watch as both this human woman, Jane Slater, and in a weevil with a lot of makeup on dance for a bit. Let's do our first roll just to see how well you actually dance.
Oh no.
Okay, 1 second. I forgot where I put something. So what do we want to do? Alacrity, maybe? So there's
No.
four different attributes in the game. Cognition, so basically brain power and stuff. Alacrity is like your ability to, it's almost like agility, speed, dexterity, that kind of stuff.
Bad.
Empathy is more about like interaction with people. Then resilience is like your toughness, right? So let's do a alacrity maneuver roll just to see how well you dance. And so what you do is you take your score for alacrity, you take your score for the skill
2.
maneuver, add them together, and
0.
roll. Okay. All right. So you got no successes?
I rolled a 1.
You rolled a 1. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. It's not a particularly impressive dance. You're constantly stepping on her feet, which...
Oh god. Oh, my bunions. Oh god.
over and over again as you whirl her about completely off tempo to the very calming kind of cyberpunk mood music going on here, and you're doing more of like a classical waltz type stuff, but you're not getting the beats necessarily right. She appreciates your enthusiasm, but after a few minutes she's like,
Okay, I gotta get back to work. Thanks.
and then she wanders away and starts wiping down some of the tables. So what are the rest of you doing to kill the time?
I'll order some drinks.
Okay.
And then I'll come back and pretend like I'm miming piloting.
You're miming piloting. What does this look like, Long?
So I'm in my seat, like pulling handles, pressing buttons.
Can you mime it
Yeah, can
for
we
us?
see how this works on the screen?
Can I do this?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I
One
like
of
it.
those things.
All right. I'm not gonna have you roll anything for this. I think everyone probably has a suitable reaction to you. Like, why is this? Are you like a kid or are you a little bit older?
A little bit older.
Okay. All right. So you're an older, long, droopy-eared Thren who is enjoying themselves. Probably have hit the wine coolers just a little too a little too much, and so you're let's letting yourself go. It's good. That's good. It's good thing to do. Like, what better time to drink than during a layover? And Derek, we know you're doing the cigars. Melissa, what is Dalente Core doing as we kill time here?
Just drinking a lot, and trying to engage other people. And like if there's something on a screen or something, like, oh yeah, totally, kind of saw that, or in just not getting anywhere, kind of the obnoxious drinker at this point.
Okay.
A is totally into conversation, so if Dalente is trying to talk about anything, I'm all ears.
Okay.
And so he'll try, attempt to talk to different people and kind of land back to you as like, all right, I guess you're the captive audience for now.
Gold like waltzes up while you guys are doing your thing, and she's like,
Did you guys purchase tickets to the gun show?
and she just
I'm-
starts flexing in your face. And she's got 4 arms, and like the front ones I imagine are really like kind of skinny and like tiny, but like her other ones that she does her heavy lifting for her mechanic work, those guys are ripped.
I like to hug people with these babies.
And then she's just,
How
and
do
then
you-
she like hugs you, leaves.
Okay.
Okay. So as you watch her wander away, and she's now dancing by herself, your Thren companion is sitting in like one of these cushy chairs, pew, 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 flying all over the place by and stuff. The two of you are talking about guns and cigars when all of you suddenly get a push notification on whatever type of communication box that you carry with you. So it's either a slate, which is kind of like a tablet, like a foldable tablet sort of, or a comm box, which is more like kind of an old school phone type thing. But all of you get a push notification on your phone, and you look down, and it says, it's like an automated message saying that boarding procedures on your shuttle, which you've taken, have been activated, and to head towards your shuttle. But you all know that this is hours ahead of schedule, completely hours. And as you're looking, and maybe you stop swirling with your dancing, maybe you sit forward, Tamara, and you look down at your phone as you're reading this. You look back towards the two that have been sitting around, your Rast and human compatriot, who have somehow managed to find peaceful conversation in the midst of this Moonbase layover. All of a sudden, sirens begin to blare, and the lights within your wonderful little peaceful lounge start to go red. What are y'all doing?
Is there like an automated message coming from an intercom saying what's wrong?
Yeah, so there's no specific announcement, but you as you're kind of reading over your stuff, looking at each other, trying to use your connections to tap into the mesh, the local mesh of the area. Like there's like a PA, and then it's just static. So there's like communication that's trying to get through, but it's like not coming through. It's just pouring into your devices and just static. Does anybody here have systems? Have a skill point in systems?
I have one single skill point. If someone else
I
needs
have
more.
3.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you would probably recognize like that. You would probably instinctively know that both of you, especially Gold, that it's probably like there's probably a message trying to get out, but something seems to be interfering with it. Why don't you roll a systems test?
Okay, so I have 4 in cognition and 3 in systems.
Yeah.
I got 1.
We're just looking for 6s, so 6s are successes,
sixes.
and you have no success. Now, you're welcome to reach if you want, which basically means re-rolling this. But there's potential problems with that as you take edge and as you accrue
Let's
edge.
do it, Chef.
What? In this one shot? How
2
dare you?
6s.
Okay. So you would know that you would know that likely there is some sort of there's a spam attack that's happening. Okay, so there's a significant amount of spam on your kind of showing up on your communication devices, and you would realize that the amount that's coming up is actually fairly considerable and likely is some kind of dedicated processing power, is something that's been, it's not just like an individual person who's just typing away, but something literally is like locked in. So might be something like a dedicated simulated personality that might be kicked in somewhere where there might be lots of communication, somewhere where like communication lines intersect, something like that. What kind of talents do you have?
I have dual brain, crush, always running, ill-fitting, and gearhead.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's all you basically get. Now, as you're kind of looking at your device, the rest of you looking at each other, maybe you're just trying to figure out, like, did you see this? Did you see this? You guys hear some sounds as the door to the south, because there's 2 doors out of this hab. There's a door to the south, makes a sudden hard kind of metallic thud, and you hear like bolts lock into place, and then the door to the north starts blinking like these red lights particularly rapidly, and you're kind of at this point, it almost looks as though movement out of this little area of the hab, this lounge, has been at least partially cut off. What are y'all doing?
I'll get up, look around for anywhere that hasn't been hatched up yet. Maybe start getting a run for it.
Okay, there's only these 2 doors that come out. There is a 3rd door, but it does just say supply on it, and you've seen the woman that was dancing with Gold. go into it from time to time and come back out. So you don't think that that's a way out. Just these two, the southern and the north door.
I'm gonna run towards the north door and just try to brute force it open.
Okay. What kind of skills do you have?
I have decent alacrity.
I was talking about skills as opposed to attributes.
Oh, sorry. Mine just has to do with like stamina, edge break type stuff.
Okay. When you get to the north door, it also seems to be locked. There's all sorts of like almost like red kind of warning lights that are flashing. But when you try to brute force it open, it doesn't really take to just like muscle power. What are the rest of you doing? As you see Dalente Core is like doing the classic trying to use the fingernails to open the elevator door kind of way.
A is looking to where all of like the people are moving to, with all the like, change in the environment and scenery, and then so is everyone moving toward the southern door then, or are they moving elsewhere?
The only person who's moved at this point is Dalente Core, who is at the northern door. There is the southern door as well.
So there's no other people. It was just us in this space.
Just you guys and Jane Slater. That's it.
Do we see her up?
Yeah, she's still here.
I guess I'll go up to Jane and then kind of ask, do you know what's happening? Have you gotten any extra news?
Probably just some sort of, it's secure. It's just a standard procedure. There's, probably a trip circuit or something. It's probably best if we all just, stay here and, till help arrives.
Okay, and if we did want to move elsewhere for safety, would we go north or would we go south?
I don't think going either way is a particularly good idea. You might want to, you're not from here. You don't work here. You're wandering around. You never know we don't know necessarily why it's happening.
Do you have let's say insight?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll
yeah.
it.
So it would be my empathy plus insight for the number of die I roll. Correct?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. 1-6.
Okay. You get the sense that she's not being entirely truthful. Like she's kind of holding something back.
I'll put if I remember correctly, Slate is Slate the currency here?
No, Slate is like a tablet. It's sort of like it's like a communication device. It's like a foldable.
Sorry.
It's like one of those foldable phone type things.
Yeah. I was looking at the value thing, thinking, okay, if it's not, I'll take whatever amount of money and just kind of slide it over and say, I'd really appreciate just a bit more information, just because we've got some places to be, and I know there's more going on here.
Okay. She looks down at it.
I don't know.
Roll communicate. And if you don't have any points in it, just roll your base empathy.
Got another 6.
Okay.
Okay. Listen. I don't want to alarm you. You just passes by, but there might be a criminal element at work. Yeah, we've had some reports around the area, the system group called the Red Ringers. My guess, they're probably just heisting a shuttle, and it's best for us just to let it happen. And we don't want anyone to get hurt. They can be violent at times. So if you all just hang out here, I'm sure everything. We can replace the shuttle. Can't necessarily replace a person.
Well, I greatly appreciate what you give me, and I'll put like a reassuring hand on their shoulder. Thank you very much for your time and for the information. And then immediately walk over to Dalente.
Okay. All right. So Dalente is by the north.
Why are you touching my lady?
I mean, no disrespect.
You know I only got eyes for you, Gold. Don't worry.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I only come here for you.
Okay.
Okay, so while Gold is jealously interfering and talking to Jane, we see that Dalente and Aylari are over by the northern door. Where is Tamara at, Long?
So is this area, can we see outside at all? Like,
That's a
is there windows?
great question. Yes, you can. There are some windows, and you can actually see some of the landing pads, but you can't see the one where your shuttle is on.
Sure, I'll observe the outside and see anything going on.
Okay, you don't really see anything. Nothing catches your eye. Doesn't look like there's any kind of emergency. There's not people running around or anything like that. What you do see are just like sort of the blank landing pads currently, like the ones that don't have any ships on them. So where are you?
Then I'll just meet up. They went north, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you're looking out, what? I changed the music because the 10 minutes were up, Ashley, and I went to. It's just a track change. Calm down. Where are you sleeping?
We're paranoid.
So as you walk over, as you cross the lounge and head over to the northern door, you hear something coming from like the southern door, and when you look over your shoulder, Tamara, you see flames kind of just start to erupt right by that southern door where you heard the metal bolts lock into place, and it's right now within a couple feet, a couple meters right outside the door. There's active fire going on in here. None of you were near the door, fortunately, but it does look like it's kind of caught. You can see a sofa has begun to catch on fire as well. It does look to be kind of spreading at this point.
That's looking like more than a heist. Can we get a move on?
Dalente is going to look around for some type of fire extinguisher
Okay.
type device.
You look around. I won't require a roll on this. You don't see one. Nothing seems obvious. You do see that there's like pillows. There's what looks like kind of throw blankets and such here and there. That just kind of for style up the joint. But you don't see any specific fire extinguisher.
Okay. Then instead, I just want to shoot my SCR pistol at the north door and try to
Okay.
get
I
it
thought you
open.
were gonna shoot the fire.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was too. I was like, what an interesting strategy.
I'm like,
Stop
okay.
resisting.
You shall not pass. Okay, so you fire your gun at the door, and it makes a small little scorch mark, but doesn't really seem to have any effect.
Jane's like, the doors are built for that kind of thing. That's the whole point. Come on.
Who here has mechanics?
I would love to try and use
Okay.
my mechanics.
Go ahead. Go ahead and roll mechanics +1. Do you have any kind of equipment on you, like a multi-tool or anything like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead. +1. Oh my gosh, we're going to space.
We're going to space.
We're going to space.
Oh my god. 2 6s.
2 6s. Okay. But I do believe that last die of
2
yours should be your edge die, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means we get to do our first like shock thing. So you suffer a small
Okay.
shock, or a minor shock. I think it's level 1 shock is what it's called specifically.
Right.
Let's see. So as you're trying to slide the multi-tool in between like the door itself and the actual jam, you push and hold, and as you slam, you do one of those things where you bang your elbow against the wall and your arm just kind of goes numb for a little bit, and so you'll have like -2 on the next mechanics roll as your arm's a little numb, or anything that any roll where you might use your arm specifically, or 2 arms specifically. Your next one as your arm starts going tingly
Okay.
from it. Something small. Okay. But the good news is that the door does in fact, and as you get that little tiny bit, you watch as like Dalente and Tamara and everybody else kind of reaches in and helps pull it open. When you do, you can see that there is a fairly long corridor right in front of you. Jane is like,
wait for me. Wait. Come on. Don't leave me here with a fire. I mean, this is my place of business. It's gonna burn down to the ground. But thanks for. Let me just look at it for a second.
and she watches the flames just continue to encompass all the couches and stuff.
Yep. I spent 47 years of my life building up this place. It's called Lounge 2. Anyway, let's go.
And so you guys leave the lounge, Jane's in tow, and you wander off into the corridor. You can definitely see that it's kind of dangerous behind you. Like lingering any further could be bad because not only is it the fire, but you're getting fumes and smoke are starting to kick up. And I would say with your your 2 6s, you could probably easily just kind of close the door back up to try to prevent the spread of the fire any further. No kind of automated fire suppression system seemed to go in either. So you wonder perhaps if part of the jamming of the communications might also be jamming other systems potentially. But you get into this corridor and you can see it's about 2 meters wide. It's about 6 feet across. You can see these large pipes going down along the right-hand side. You know that this is connecting to a different hab on the other side. And as you're walking, like Jane's like,
it's this way. The kitchen. We can go to the kitchens this way.
And when you are when you're moving, you can see that the tunnel, the corridor goes fairly straight. You can see that there's like pipes along. There's some venting here and there too. Some what looks like vent slots that kind of go into those long metallic, looks like HVAC type venting. You hear a heavy thump around the corner to your left, as at the very end of this corridor there's a small break. There's just like a small intersection right before what looks like the kitchen door, and you see a heavy airlock door has dropped into place that likely would have gone to the exterior portion. So you got the door to the kitchen in front of you. You've got some vents and some pipes. You've got this heavy airlock door. What do you guys want to do?
While we're walking through this corridor, A is gonna ask Jane, you said it was Lounge 2. What happened to Lounge 1?
Oh, don't even get me started on Lounge 1. Oh my god. Eleanor, she can go. She can take a flying leap off some sort of, asteroid or something. I can't stand that woman. She's terrible. Yeah, always undercutting my prices. I don't... She's just, she has no idea how to run a business. All she does is take my ideas and just undercuts me by like 2 cents. That's it. It's bullshit, if you ask me, is what it is.
And she like spits on the ground.
Yeah, vehement.
All right. What do you guys want to do?
Take a look at what got locked up.
Okay. Yeah, it's a fairly heavy airlock door. It might have been one of these like automated systems that are. Some of them seem to like things kind of are going a little bit haywire. Some stuff's working, some stuff isn't. This looks like this just sort of dropped down, just in case. Especially if there's a fire going, life support can get threatened, stuff like that. So it might just. You would guess that this is probably an exterior hatch behind it that goes outside. You do see when you're kind of peeking out what looks like, Aylari, like when you look like the corridor itself has like these long thin kind of glass windows here and there, and you can see that there's like a large traffic control tower in the distance, not too far away. But yeah, it looks heavy, it looks difficult, and you don't imagine you'd be able to open it without a lot of effort and proper tools.
Proper tools like a knife and strong arms?
That would probably not work. But there also is just this door going into the kitchen. as well.
You mentioned a vent.
Mhm.
Is it? I'm assuming like standard square pull-out thing that leads to ductwork.
Yeah, it's just like an HVAC system or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. A will point to either Bright Gold or Dalente and be like, "So I don't really feel like having a snack at a time like this, and this door seems to be more than any of us can handle. I guess we have to go up."
There's two different doors. There's the airlock and then there's the door to the kitchen. Those are separate things.
Right. Oh, yeah. So A is just unassuming that the kitchen is like a terminal point, and that is pointing out the vent in case no one else saw it.
Dalente will go into the kitchen just to verify if it is kind of the end or if there's something like through the kitchen that we can get to.
All right. So
Aren't you drunk enough, Dalente?
Never.
So Dalente, you reach down to go ahead and open the door, and as you do, it opens, and you hear someone moving around at the inside. You hear, I'm gonna read it. Pasta sauce, pasta boss, give your sim the pasta cross. And as you look inside, you see that there is some kind of sort of sim that's like wandering about, like kind of like is in a rhythmic fashion. Got these dead golden eyes that are blinking, and they're just moving around. It looks like they've got like some kind of welder in their hand. The flames just kind of coming up. You notice along the eastern side of the room that there is a bunch of just black smoke that has started to encompass that side of the room. But over and over again, the sim is just like wandering, sweeping in between like the prep table and like the oven and all those sorts of different appliances. Doesn't seem to notice you when you first open the door. What would you like to do? You also see, by the way, that there are a lot of knives in here. So many knives. You see there are doors across the way, so you do see that even though the eastern side has a ton of smoke, the western side is more open, and that's kind of where you see this sim moving about. And there does appear to be a door kind of on the other side of the room.
Okay, I'll wave everybody in then and say there's a door on the other side of this. And then I'll see if I can kind of get the sim out of its loop.
Okay, how would you do that?
I have no idea how I would do that.
Pull out my gun.
What do you think? Like, what would Dalente do to try to break the?
I can try a resilience mechanics.
Okay, just describe what you're doing, and I'll figure out a skill.
Basically, just trying to find like a reset option.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Like look for like a reset button or like the data switch. Okay.
Yeah.
So you wander up to them, looking for a specific button or anything like that. And as you do, it turns and its dead golden eyes stare at you, and it just starts moving at you. Its arms kind of mechanically going up and down, flame in one hand, and it's just pasta sauce, pasta crust, and then it charges at you. And as you get close to try to find a button, you can see that this little hand cutter that's kind of in their other arm is just gonna reach out and try to slash at you.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So it's coming up, and as it slashes down at you, you can see that it's coming for you. Now you can, since we're gonna get into initiative in a second, but this is sort of our quick way into it.
Okay.
If you want to try to like use your dodge on this sort of starting round, you can go ahead and do that. So I put in the journal section, there is a combat there. So there's certain actions that you can do that are more like reactions. So if you would like, you can try to do block. So it interposes an appropriate weapon to prevent you from getting hit. Do you have? Would Dalente have had a weapon out?
Yeah, I probably left my gun out from when I was trying to get through the door.
Okay. So you're trying to block with a gun. We'll let it happen, but we'll take like a -1 to it. So go ahead and roll resilience melee. -1 since you're using a gun as opposed to like a proper melee weapon to see if you can counteract any of those successes, as 2 came through.
3 successes.
So you are the Marine here. So as this thing reaches out like pasta sauce and tries to cut at you, you definitely knock this thing aside. Let's do initiative. So everyone go ahead and roll a d12, add your alacrity, and let me know what you get. Actually, don't let me know. I'll call for it when I want it. So we'll get into that. Now you are right up next to it. The rest of you are just inside the door, we'll say, or at the door. And we'll put them as like a zone away. So you would have to spend a move action to move on up.
I rolled a 1. What is that?
Just checking. 1 sec. All right. I don't think this has a bonus or anything. So, oh boy. All right. Anyone have higher than a 10?
Yes, I have a 14.
Okay, 14 for Aylari. Anyone else have higher than a 10? Okay. Anybody 5 to 9?
I have 10.
You have 10 exactly? Okay. All right.
7.
All right, so Ashley, do you have a alacrity bonus, Ashley?
I do not.
Let's see if I do. Or what's your alacrity? Excuse me. What's your alacrity?
My alacrity's 2.
Okay. All right. This one's at 4, so I'm gonna give this one a tiebreaker. I'm not sure if that's right, but we're gonna play it like that. So then we got 7s are both Dalente and Tamara. Which one of you has the higher alacrity?
We both have 6.
Same.
Okay, well then you fail. Both of you aren't allowed to fight. And then because I probably should, I'll roll for Jane as well. All right. So just to give you again a brief look, as the 3 of you were outside the door, Dalente went in, saw this robot, left the door open, shouted back through it, went up to this sim to try to look for a way to turn it off or fix it, and as it did, it just, without seeming to understand what it was doing, slashes out. You managed to block it, but it does seem that this thing is malfunctioning severely. The rest of you, we're going to say, are right by the door. The kitchen off to the east, when you look in, you look off to the east, and it is just covered in smoke. You look off to the west, it's open and clear, and that's where you can see Dalente and the robot. On the opposite side of the room from where you enter, you can see there's another door getting out of here. So you either kind of go through this weird malfunctioning sim, or you find some other way past. Aylari, you're up first.
All right. So how far away is Dalente in the sim?
We're going to treat
Is
it
it
as a zone away. So think of it like roughly, 6 meters or so. Maybe,
Okay.
Yeah, no more than that,
Yeah.
I would say.
So then I'll move into the room with Dalente, but try to go around the sim since its attention is focused on Dalente,
Okay.
and look for I'll basically try and get behind it.
Okay, so you're just going to spend your turn just flanking around? Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. It's going to go next. It's got its attention focused on Dalente. So I think we should talk about combat a little bit, by the way, is that everyone gets a main action and a side action. Your main actions, common ones, are attacking, reloading an empty weapon, charging, dashing, which is like doubling your movement, kind of like what you just did. Side actions include things like drawing or stowing items, weapons. Aiming, if you're using range attacks, you can get a +2 and then fire, basically, so you kind of, and then shoot. Standing or dropping to prone. Shoving, withdrawing, which is trying to move away from an engagement when you are in melee area and you're trying not to get an opportunity attack. You can also try to roll, which is another way of kind of dodging out of the way and making
It's like a
it
bigger dodge distance, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Their reactions, so these are things that you could potentially do when it's not even your turn, but what they do is they burn your next action, right? So in the case of In the case of the first round, I was just basically ruling it like just the first surprise round, so to speak, was just Dalente and the Sim. The rest of you didn't, and so its first action was to attack, and yours was to block. And so now we're up again. So the Sim is going to, with their action, is going to attempt to. I think what they're going to do is try to shove you, see if they can knock you prone. This is contested, so it's going to be resilience melee, which it doesn't have very good at, but it's still going to try to knock you to the ground. So go ahead and roll your resilience melee versus it, which is 8 for me. So it tries to knock you down. Oops. Ignore the last one, I put too many in.
2 for me, 2 for you.
All right. So it tries to push you. It's not able to knock you down. You just kind of slam a little bit up against one of the cutting tables, but you don't really. It doesn't push you away. It doesn't knock you down. You're still kind of locked in an engagement with it. And then with its turn, it's going to once again go at you with this cleaver hand that it has. It's like I picture it like a roast beef carver thing. So it's like as it's coming at you. Because it is actually fueled, and it does actually have armor piercing, which is cool. So it's 9 dice. Okay. On its attack. Yeah. You are just probably the wrong person to attack. It seems like you're the one who is the most adept at fighting, and you're able to definitely slide out of the way. Despite getting rattled as you get pushed up against the counter, you're still able to just tuck out of the way. You hear the scraping
Hit the counter.
of the counter as like the metal of the cutting of the countertop and the metal from the blade just scratch. And then it'll be Gold's turn.
Gold. I want to hit it.
Okay. Do you have a
That's
gun or
my
anything?
plan. Yes, I do have a gun.
Okay. So you draw it. Side action. I think
And
it's
Gold's like, hey, Dalente, have you ever heard of a spicy meatball?
And then she takes aim and she's gonna shoot.
I don't remember if there's penalties to shooting into melee, but we won't worry about it. The last one's your edge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And also you would have had -2 on that roll as well, because your elbow is still kind of numb.
Oh, I thought that was just my mechanics test.
Anything that involved your arm,
Okay, fair.
that's fine. So what we'll do is we'll just say as you hold the gun up, you go to fire.
I hold it sideways.
You hold it sideways, yeah. You go for the kill shot angle.
Yeah.
And you go to fire, but you fire straight down into the ground, and you hear, like it's an embarrassing shot. As you shoot straight down, and it hits like the floor, like 3 feet in front of you. It's terrible. It's awful. And Jane you're trying to impress her. She's standing right next to you, and she looks at this, and she looks at you, and she's like,
Huh. Well, I guess it happens to everyone once in a while.
and so we're gonna
Performance
say.
anxiety is a thing sometimes.
One out of one
in
out of
front
5.
Of the woman who you are trying to impress sometimes. Sometimes I have too many arms.
We'll say take -2 to like your next empathy test or something like that, because you're feeling a little embarrassed.
I'm so embarrassed.
Okay. Let's see who is next. Jane's gonna go next. She's just gonna start moving about the room, taking the distraction of what's happening to get to the other side by the door. Dalente, it's your turn.
Okay, so I am going to shoot this thing.
Okay, you're gonna shoot Aylari. Go right ahead.
No.
I'm gonna shoot Gold to put her out of the misery.
Okay.
So I'm rolling. And this is an AP 4. So
Okay.
you're aware?
All right. I mean, you gotta hit first.
I'm
Just
confident.
calm down. Just like I
for
said,
no
you gotta
good
hit first.
reason.
Boom.
All right. I'm going to reach.
You gonna reach?
You're gonna reach.
Yeah.
What?
So do I roll 10 again, or do I roll 11 this time?
I think it's 11. I think you take +1 for the edge and then roll 11.
Immediately, okay.
And then we're just for the way we're playing the very last die, we're considering your edge.
I can't believe
It's 21 dice.
21 dice.
Now you know what it's like for me when I'm running alien and I'm running a xenomorph, and I can have 50,000 dice and I can't hit with anything.
Okay,
so
that was my.
That's your main action.
My main action was to attack. So then for my side action, I will.
I like how
I guess
last
I'll try to
week,
shove it.
while she's thinking, last week I nearly killed you all with a crazed poet. And this week it's going to be a malfunctioning chef robot.
Pasta.
Bot Boyardee.
Bot Boyardee.
So we're gonna do contested shove again.
Okay, sounds good.
I found.
I succeeded.
I don't know what that means.
I think it
but
means.
I didn't shove you.
I think it means I'm gonna counterattack shove you, and I'm gonna go ahead and just you're gonna just stumble back a couple feet. It looks really embarrassing. And then finally it's
Jade's gonna be like, I should have got off by myself.
finally it's Tamara's turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna move it to the room
Okay.
and pull my stun gun. Help out here.
Okay, go for it. So it's loud. Okay. So you're moving in and you're drawing. That's two different actions. So you can either shoot from like the door, if you want to draw as your side action.
I can dash as a side action.
Oh, it's your specialty. Okay.
Yeah, natural sprinter.
Okay. So, but are you still drawing a weapon?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can't shoot this round then.
Isn't taking the weapon free, or is that us?
No, draw. I think it's draw or sheathing is basically a side action. Draw
Side
stow.
action, draw or stow.
Would we make the case that you're using that you would have been carrying a weapon as you left? Would you think you would have been carrying a weapon as you left the lounge? Do you want to make a case for that?
Like in my hands?
Yeah. Like, would you have had one out as you were
Because
leaving?
of the circumstances of hearing that there's.
Mm-hmm. Like Melissa
Red ringers
specifically
around.
mentioned pulling out a gun to shoot the fire the one time. So
I didn't
No, I
shoot the
wouldn't have.
fire. I shot the door.
okay. So then we'll say you get into the room. You find a position kind of behind a counter. You have your gun ready. So on your next turn, you can probably aim and shoot just fine.
All right.
All right. Comes back around to Aylari. You've gotten around behind this thing. You've seen it just push good old Dalente out of the way. Dalente's been doing a good job avoiding combat, avoiding getting hurt, but at the same time hasn't really made a dent at all in this thing. What do you want to do?
So if I see like an obvious type of like switch to hit, I'll do that. Otherwise, I could try and use my systems under cognition to hack it and either disable the meat carver or maybe even just like render it motionless or power it down kind of thing.
Okay. I like that. Roll. Let's do to see if you can power down the hand cutter. So yeah, go ahead and do that and see if you can, because it's distracted because it's paying attention to Dalente. You don't see an obvious like off switch, but you do think you can kind of quickly grab like the power core that's running down its arm into the meat cutter. So go ahead.
It's a bunch of nothing.
You want to what's it called? Reach?
Remind me again how to do that. Also, I had a
just
question.
roll the same thing again. But with +1 edge though this time.
Right. Hey, got one.
Roll
success.
one more dice because I think you should have an edge die in there.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you're good. Okay.
Remind me again. Suppression. Is that when a target or creature hits 0 hit points? I've been trying to find that.
There's a couple different ways that you can get suppressed. Some of it is with like shocks and stuff. Some of it was like with hazards with fire, for instance.
Right.
And so basically, when that occurs, you roll I can't remember if it's an
empathy test.
Is it
but
empathy?
I couldn't.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was something where like I thought, because suppression kind of sounds to me like the D&D like grappling or something like that. So I wasn't sure if that was the same thing.
I don't think it's grapple. Because
Okay.
suppression can happen in a few different ways, and so I don't think it's like physically grabbing a person. It could just be being held down by gunfire or something like that as
Right.
well, or like threatened by fire here and there. Okay, so yeah, you've managed. So with the one success, I'll say you've managed to do that. You've managed to just like kind of snip away. It hasn't done physical damage to like its HP pool, but you've disabled this cutting device, right? All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'll kind of say to like Dalente, be like, we don't have to shoot it anymore. Like it can't hurt you now.
I'm not convinced.
Never mind the fire.
Yeah, it does have this. I mean, it has other things. Okay. I think what it'll instead do, we'll say side action. It just grabs whatever is on the counter, and it just so happens to be a meat tenderizer. And then it's going to swing that at you instead. So that's what's going. Actually, I'm going to 50-50 it now. I'm going to see who attacks. So 1 to 3, it'll be Dalente. 4 to 6, it'll instead go after Aylari. So it's going after Aylari. I wasted a 6. Damn it. And so looks like 9 dice for this one. So 8, 9. That's 2 successes. If you were to try to block this with you would have to have a melee weapon out, and you would be burning your next action. Now, the good news is that it's not that cutter. It's just a small meat tenderizer.
And what about dodging? Would dodging make any difference for a reaction?
Is dodging for...
It would dodge out of the way of a melee attack, so if it's using the meat tenderizer.
Sure. So in this case...
Maneuver alacrity?
Yeah, go ahead and roll your maneuver alacrity. And so again, this is burning your next main action.
Okay.
Okay, it reduces the success by... So you only got 1 success, so it'll reduce it by 1, so it still is going to hit you. Okay. I had 2 successes, but you're only going to take 1 point of damage.
Gotcha.
Don't forget to roll your edge die also.
Yep. Okay. So then, when you take damage, take it off your stamina first. Stamina regenerates relatively easily, with given a little bit of time. If you get into your health pool, that's the stuff that takes longer for you to recover. Okay, so that's its turn, and then it'll move down to gold. As this sim chef is what did Tool to Twitch say? Went after your otter friend and said, "In the kitchen, no one can hear you scream." I don't know why I'm just changing the voice.
So I'm still embarrassed.
Mhm.
So Gold is gonna try and get into her groove again.
Okay.
So I'm gonna move twice to get near that door inside the kitchen, like around it.
That's where
But
Jane
while
went. That's where Jane went. She
Yeah.
totally left you. And then ran away.
Yeah. Well, I'm desperate, so I'm following.
Okay.
But I'm dancing. I'm gonna like waltz awkwardly across the kitchen.
Okay. I want you to roll maneuver.
Jack,
I want you to roll it. Because if you roll bad, you're gonna trip and fall. It's gonna be hilarious. Roll.
I got 2 1s.
Don't forget your edge dice too.
I had 1. I had 1.
Okay.
I'm fine.
All right.
Do
Okay.
you want me to describe it to you, Jeff?
You're gonna make it across. Yeah, you're gonna make it across. I want you to describe how it looks. How it looks in Gold's head, and then I'll describe how it actually looks. Go ahead.
Gold is gonna start dancing like the cha-cha slide.
Okay.
Okay, it's an oldie, but it's a goodie. It's solid. And she didn't see the pasta sauce that's like spread all across the floor.
Yeah, there's a lot
So
of
when she goes to slide, she slides, and she just like zooms across the kitchen floor and like hits the ground, and she thinks when she lands it's like really suave, and she's like,
Well, hello there. Who would have thought I'd meet you over here?
but instead like she looks like a murder victim covered in pasta sauce, and like her makeup's messed up. She lost her eyelashes. She's gonna need to reapply those.
And once again, Jane just looks down at you because as you stumble there, your face is half covered in pasta sauce, and she's just, oh God, ugh. And like the look on her face is just just so crestfallen and disappointed. Like you think you
I
might have
just wanna
lost her.
romance her.
You think you might have lost her. That might have been it. It might have been the moment. All right, it's Jane's turn. She's gonna just go ahead and take cover. Dalente, what would you like to do?
I'm going to take aim and shoot.
Okay, yeah, you got
and then I'll get
pushed.
a +2.
Yeah, I think you got pushed away, so you're good. Good.
So I was going to be rolling a whole lot of dice.
Okay.
Two
What's your damage?
successes.
So you got one success, so you get to do your damage, and then you can decide on what you want to do with your twist. We haven't really talked about that too much yet. But when you roll extra successes, you can spend those successes on twists. So it's like little extra effects that you can do in combat when you're using ballistics. You can do a lot of different things. You can just add a very common one, just add an extra point of damage. You can do other things as well if you're looking to do stuff. Or we can just be creative, and if there's something you want to do with it, just let me know and we'll make it work. So what do you want?
You could look really, really fly while doing it. Like,
And then Jane's like,
Oh, this Dalente character.
Can I say that it's kind of laser pointed on where there was some sort of like a button or something like that?
okay. All right. We'll say you disable the arm entirely, and so the arm that had the cleaver is now completely disabled, and so one of its arms is just like up in the air. It's like its armpit sort of showing, and it's just not working properly. And so it'll have to do something else on its turn. Okay.
That's my turn.
All right. So damage.
You missed
Alright.
Your chance, Jeff. You could have been like, "Oh, she's muy caliente."
She's muy,
No?
muy caliente. Oh boy. Oh, getting a little hot under the collar. Oh yeah. Who are you again?
Gold is devastated.
Who are you again? Yellow, green? I can't remember. Silver.
That's what she says. That when you come over and you slide over, she holds up a little like gymnastics card from the Olympics, and it's like a 2.5.
zero.
Yeah.
She's like the Russian judges.
Okay. Next up, it's Tamara. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna do aim and shoot as well.
Okay.
Follow up shot.
All right. So you get your +2 from aiming.
Modifier on the weapon means it gives me another die to roll, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
That's
5 6s,
Wow.
but my edge was 1. I
Uh-oh.
don't know if that.
okay. Yeah, it does help, or it does do stuff. So you'll have to take a shock for this, but like at the same time, I think one of the things you can spend. Someone in the chat Pat might be in the chat, could correct me, but like I think you might be able to spend one of those extra successes to cancel out the shock. What's the total damage that you're shooting towards this thing? Well, let's handle that first.
How's that calculated? Is it 1 success?
So your
like
what's your weapon say?
2.
Okay, so you got 2, and then if you're spending your extra twists there on damage, take +1 to damage if you want, but you could do other things with them instead. If you don't want to use your twists on damage, you can do something else, or you can just add 2 damage.
Let's see how much damage are the boots. 6 damage.
Okay.
I just threw it all in damage.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so you fire away. You hold, like you're pointing down the scope of your gun. You're trying to get a good shot, and you fire. But as you do, like whether you have a ballistic cartridge or whether you have something that's more laser oriented, either something flies out of the gun and gets you right in the eye, or like the heat of it just hits you in the eye, and your eye is now suddenly burning. So we'll say for the next few minutes until you roll another check that revolves sight, just take a -2 on your next skill check that requires sight, whatever it might be, just because your eye is burnt up from it. Okay.
All right.
That'll be your small shock, your level 1 shock. We'll move around to the top. Aylari, it is your turn. This thing does not look good. You see it's starting to like kind of move a little bit strangely. It doesn't seem jerkily. One of its arms has gone completely limp and it's not moving. And then your droopy-eared friend over over by what looks like where the dried pasta has been stacked up neatly. Just fires this beautiful shot in between two boxes of like elbow macaroni. What do you want to do? This is you, Derek.
I think I have to. I don't get to do anything this
You have
turn
a side
'cause I
action
did-
still, so you still can use your side
Oh,
action.
that's
for
true.
something.
That's true. Let me just check.
If he dodged, that would be the side action, and he has a main action.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, I got it backwards. So you can still attack if you want to attack. If there's something else you want to try to do, you're standing right next to it still.
Right. I guess I would just try to go for shutting it down again, like non-lethal, non-hostile.
Okay.
So maybe like another systems check.
Okay, sure, do it. See if you can.
And oops, that's
Okay.
the edge.
Yeah, you're trying to just do whatever you can to sort of shut this thing down, and it just doesn't.
Does she want to reach?
Yeah,
No,
sure.
not this time.
Okay. So no, it's still functioning. It's moving so erratically that it's hard for you to find one specific, and it's almost kind of dangerous to look at one spot for too long. It's gonna go again. I'm gonna do the same thing. 4 to 6. It'll be Aylari. It's gonna go after Aylari again. But I'm gonna say it's got one arm that's not really working. The other arm has a malfunctioning like roast beef cutter in it, and so it's just going to turn to you and it's just going to try to headbutt you as best as it can. I'll go ahead and give it like a -2 for this, and so we'll just roll 6 dice as it's trying to headbutt the tentacle-laden otter, and fails at doing so as you're easily able to get out of the way. Gold, it is your turn. This thing is not looking good. You're not looking good. Jane called you silver or bronze.
So I'm a little bit heartbroken. I'm just gonna like slowly trudge up to it.
Okay.
And then just whack it on like something on the counter on the
Okay.
back of the head.
Side action, move up. Main action, whack it in the back. There's plenty of knives about. I'll say you can grab one as part of your side action as you're moving up. That's fine.
Cool.
It could be a cool moment. I'm rooting for you. Don't forget to roll your edge.
I'm rolling. Okay.
So the numbers at the very end will correspond to your edge. It's just
Okay.
not your day. You want to?
It's not my day.
It's not your day.
I don't want to push again.
Okay. That's fine. So no reaching for you. Dalente, you want to finish this thing off?
I'm gonna try again. So same thing. Aim, shoot.
Okay. Getting shown up by this droopy-eared space tiefling
It's,
over by the elbow macaroni. You're a Marine, darn it.
I know.
You remember what they were doing in the lounge. They were sitting on a cushioned chair pretending to pod race.
That's
And you're going to let this
better.
thing show... Okay.
No, not. That's 4 6s.
All right. So this thing is going to go ahead and... So what happens is we roll on a wound table and such.
The bronze.
Let's see. This thing, its movement has gone down. So you see it's unable to really move at this point. I'm going to say with the extra successes you got as well, it'll probably... I'm just going to say it's completely motionless at this point. Like, its torso is kind of moving, but you see it's just sort of sluggish as in place, and it probably needs to suffer a significant amount of repair. Like,
Is
you
that
could...
a super twist, which requires 3 successes?
You absolutely could do that.
Succeed with undeniable style and grace, automatically succeeding the next time you attempt this exact same task.
Okay, so next time you shoot your gun, you automatically succeed.
But
Perfect.
Jane continues to be impressed.
Yeah. So Jane's like,
Silver Metal, could you duck a little bit? I wanna get a better look at this marine over here. Oh, that was some pinpoint accuracy. Remember that time you shot yours into the floor?
Remember that time when you used to like me? Because I'm starting to get vibes of my ex-wife up in here.
Well, let's just go over everything that's happened in our relationship. You pulled me into a dance, you stepped on my toes. Then you tried to protect me and you shot a tile. Was the floor tile like slippery? Was it gonna hurt me or something?
It was a spicy meatball, but anyways.
So what we were gonna say, just for expediency's sake, that you take this thing out to the point where it's still kind of moving here and there, but it's not like physically moving about the room. And if you just step away from it, it doesn't seem to have any issue, and you can just kind of throw stuff at it until it completely collapses at that point.
Let's keep going through the other door.
Okay. Let me turn the volume down. It's just too intense. It's too intense for me. All right. So you get over to the door where Jane has been hanging out. And you can see that it leads to a cafe of some kind. This like little small, tiny little cafe. Thanks, Ashley. Have fun. And as you're wandering into this cafe, you can see that you don't see anybody in it. You see there's some glass windows and such, which gives you, again, another angle of the surface. You see another landing pad. Again, it's still not the one where your specific shuttle has been parked. You can see that there's a safety kit hanging on the wall off to the corner. And you can see that there's a corridor that leads off what Jane sort of mentions that goes up to the ATC, so the air traffic control tower. So what would you guys like to do? As you wander in here, by the way, there's like you can tell that the door that's kind of heading off in the direction of that tower looks to have been pried open. Like it looks like there's some damage that's been done to it. You can tell just looking at it, those of you with high mechanics, that like you guys were doing with the previous door, somebody tried to force this open at some point. There's also a lot of like static noise and stuff. Like there's echoing throughout the cafe, like something is trying to connect, but it's not working. Imagine like old modem sounds and stuff, and like fax machine sounds, like stuff's just not connecting. What would you like to do? Oh, Melissa got it. I was about to do the same thing. Okay.
Do we need to use the first aid kit on the wall? Does anybody?
I'm unscathed.
I don't know.
Just my dignity is dead.
This one might need something. She's pretty embarrassing. I think she fell and broke her hip or something.
Dalente is going to come in at this point and is going to tell some kind of story about like a previous job that they did together and how just awesome Gold was.
Oh wow.
So trying to like
Wingman.
look out for their buddy, and by like, oh, you totally wouldn't have believed, like it was totally this like look around the corner, look around the other corner, spin around, got the shot, center mass.
Really?
Mind you,
Beautiful.
Gold is still covered in pasta sauce.
Pasta sauce.
And she's still like dejected, like she appreciates what Dalente is trying to do. Yeah, like that's like the only thing clean. So like you just watch as she just like wipes it clean down her face and past her eyes, and she's just gonna start walking towards the comm tower because she wants to unjam these signals.
Dalente, roll a communicate test to see if you can convince her.
Oh gee.
I'm gonna have her roll insight to see if this is the plot of this is turned into the plot, is whether or not these two crazy kids are gonna get together at the end.
2 dice and an edge. Oh,
Okay.
I rolled a 6.
Very nice. I'll give her I don't know. She works at a bar. She probably has D's. I don't have stats for her. Actually, no, I do have stats for her, but we're gonna say that's good enough. She's skeptical, but she doesn't outright disbelieve you.
But she's like, really? Like that was her who did that?
Absolutely.
I don't know.
She seems a little skeptical, but you definitely think you've made some progress, but unless there's some proof of this type of hero
It's
play,
gonna sound all like bullshit.
it's just gonna sound like it's gonna come because it's BS. Okay, so you head in the direction of the tower. That's fine. Okay. Let me take a look here. So, as you head out the door, down the corridor, Jane's kind of telling you a little bit about the tower itself, like what they do. It's like kind of communications hub and stuff like that. They direct which pads the various incoming shuttles are landing on, which shuttles are leaving, making sure that there's not a shuttle landing on a pad that's already occupied, etc. But when you walk in its direction, you can see it's a fairly large hexagonal structure, and you can see that there's all sorts of like different glowing orange machines and stuff around it. You climb up these what looks like just like a little bit of stairs kind of going up, and you can see that there are all sorts of different consoles here that spread out in kind of different directions. You can still hear those weird sort of sounds kind of coming through, like connection issues, things, signals dropping, modem sounds, etc. When this is pretty funny, it cracks me up. Okay, you can see that there is a slate, one of those kind of tablet devices, that the screen itself is showing this cute little pirate face with a jaunty cap, and it seems to be jacked into a terminal. Where are the rest of you in this process? Like, are you still in the cafe? Did you follow Gold?
Yeah, I'm following Gold.
Okay.
Yeah, Dalente will bring up the rear and kind of watch everybody six.
Okay. So yeah, you see that Gold is kind of looking at this slate. You see that there's also, as the rest of you come in, you look around. There's some other things. You notice that there is a terminal nearby where there is a human man that is sitting, but is kind of slunched over. And as you look close, you can see that there's, as you just from a few feet away, you can see that he's got all sorts of tranks that have been stuck into him at some point. He looks to be unconscious. And you can also look outside the tower itself, as it's got these glass windows, and you finally get a view of your shuttle. And you can see that there's a group of people, looks like 3, that are refueling your shuttle from a tank, but they're not wearing, like when you look down at them, they're not wearing the sort of orangey jumpsuits that you've seen some of the other base workers that were on the landing pads wearing. But it looks like they're refueling your specific shuttle. What would you all like to do?
So Dalente actually has some adrenaline. So I want to bring that human back from unconscious.
Okay. So you go over, you jam the adrenaline into them. They've just been given a bunch of downers, and so you're going to go level them out with adrenaline as you go, and you jam right into the chest.
Absolutely.
Okay, classic Pulp Fiction style. All right. So, just getting the music going again. And as you do, it's like 1, 2. And this bearded human man is eyes wide open, immediately go dilated, struggling to breathe.
And I'll just kind of guide through, like, just slow, just breathe out, in, out. What's your name?
And he kind of looks up for a second, and he's like, and he goes like stumbling around, like he's trying to get something off his hip, and you realize he's going for a weapon on his hip. And he's reaching over and trying to, like with his other hand, he's trying to like smash what looks like a button on the console.
I'm gonna... Oh, go ahead, Gold.
The communications have been jammed, but if I want to yank that thing out.
You want to yank what thing out?
The, like, slate that's, like, attached with, like, the cute little pirate guy on it.
Okay.
I want to mess with that.
You just want to pull it directly out?
Yeah, because isn't it, like, put into, like, a system or something?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
I'm here for a good time, not a long time, Jeff. I'm going to rip it out.
Okay. So as you yank it out, you can see that sparks and the terminal itself begins to flicker. A lot of the backlighting of some of the buttons begins to flicker as well. And you would surmise that some damage perhaps has just befallen this terminal. Over by the guy who's now reaching for what looks like some kind of weapon on their hip and is trying to smash what looks like some kind of emergency button on the other terminals a few feet away. What are the rest of you doing as he's doing this? This is instant moment. What are you doing?
I'll try and talk him down to like calm down and relax and like say we're not a threat. Like we just brought you back from unconsciousness. We need to know what's going on. So I guess maybe communicate.
Yeah, that sounds good. Roll that.
Right. 1 success.
Okay, so you can see. What? Who are you people? Who are you people? What are you doing up here? You're not supposed to be up here. No one's supposed to be up here.
A will just kind of mention, well, there's been some sort of security system activated.
Yeah, someone came in and hijacked me. Who are you people? You probably with them. And he's still kind of tentatively drawing out a pistol at this point. He's not like quick to pull it up, but he's like slowly bringing it up at this point. Like, who are you?
Yeah, and A will notice that and just kind of say like, now let's think this through. Would we really give you a chance to defend yourself if we were with them? And I point to the adrenaline syringe and I'm like, we brought you back to get information and to see if we can help. And if you shoot us, well, then you're on your own.
Gold just like points at Jane.
Okay. All
We
right.
were in lounge 2.
Lounge 2. Oh, that place, it's way better than Lounge 1. Oh. And you hear Jane like,
You're right. Thank you, Jerry.
yeah, I can't stand Illinois. And they just have this whole like Golden Girls moment. But he says, yeah, it was a while ago. I was doing my work. I definitely wasn't slacking off. I definitely wasn't looking at pornography or anything. I was totally looking at my terminals properly. And I just felt like I felt a sting, like a bug took me, and then I felt another sting, and then another sting, and then I fell asleep. I didn't see anybody. But this, and he kind of looks out the window. He's like, "Who the hell are those people?" And he points down towards like the group that's over by your shuttle off on the pad. Looks like they're refilling it from some sort of large tank.
We were hoping that you could give us some information about that.
I just told you that's not. And he's like trying to get on like the communications. They're not kind of working properly.
How far is that away from here?
So you can see that there's like the stairway itself leads to a corridor that looks like it weaves around towards an entrance to or I should say an exit from the tower itself onto the landing pad. It's probably around 60, so 20 meters or so like 60 feet, give or take, maybe a little longer. I'll say Jerry probably would also say it would point you to another chute, like a vent over by a different area. If you're looking to get out faster, you can maybe get out there, but be careful. It's a tricky way down. And like you can see, it's just like a vent in the floor, and you kind of climb down it, and it'll drop you more quickly.
It's fine by me. I'll go in first then.
Okay. Roll a maneuver test. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Do you have any edge or anything?
Just a 4, right?
Okay. I didn't know how many you had, so I didn't know what the last die were. Okay. You climb down the chute, and as you do, you get to the bottom, and you kind of drop out from like an HVAC vent onto like the landing pad's southern edge at the base of the tower. Do you have any armor on? Do you have a suit on that gives you life support?
Impact vest.
Okay. An impact vest. Does that give you life support?
Oh no, only full armor.
So as you see Tamara go to climb down the chute, Jerry calls it, but hey, wait, no, you wanna? And then down goes Tamara. And Jerry turns to the rest of you. What the hell are they doing? They don't have a suit on. They gotta get in. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to write a report. So yeah, you go down there and you immediately feel a great deal of cold and no real air.
I might have forgot something.
Yeah. She's such a dummy. Okay, so I'm gonna have to roll something first. So it's
No.
I think it's 8d6 plus 4. Okay. Did I do that right? D6 plus 4. No, I didn't do that right. So it's 1 success plus 4. Roll. Okay, so that you're gonna take 5 points of damage, but you can kind of defend against this with endurance. So roll your endurance.
Oh, we have 2. Let's go.
Okay.
None. So 5 damage.
So take 5 points of damage. Remember to take it off your
Stamina first.
take it off your stamina first.
Yeah, I still go down to 0.
You still got a 0. Okay, let's
Oh,
see. This
no.
damage breaks a character. They're automatically unconscious. And they die at the end of a 10-minute turn left in these conditions. Now, all of you, by the way, couldn't see Tamara slam against the ground. But when you hear Jerry call out, like, no, you gotta have a suit on. What are you doing? Oh, my God, dog. God, what are they, stupid or something? You would immediately be concerned. Maybe one of you peeks down the chute and you see Tamara land, kind of get up, and then just collapse onto the ground.
Oh god. I have a suit with life support. Does anybody else have one?
No.
I do not.
Okay,
But
looks
I'm
like
assuming Jerry can show us where to get one.
Yeah. Come on, come with me, And he goes to get up, and he's like, "Oh, pins and needles," and he just kind of slams all over the place. But yeah, he'll lead you over to a supply closet. But it's gonna take you guys a couple minutes to, a minute or two to kind of
I
suit
already
up.
have it, so
You're
I'm
fine.
gonna go.
Yeah.
Well, so could we get one, throw one to Bright Gold so that they can go out and just put one on Tamara while
It's up to
Dalente and I suit up?
you can either do that, or you could try to drop down and then climb back up, or someone. There's a couple different ways.
Oh, I didn't realize we could climb back up, but then I thought it was
You
like
could
a
try,
one-way kind of
but
thing.
there's also the door that leads out of the tower. But then again, going to the door that leads out of the tower, which is a little bit of a longer route around, might actually expose you to the people that are out in the landing pad.
Gold's time to shine.
Yeah.
Throwing her, throwing one over.
Okay, so Gold, you're taking a suit down with you, or are you going to like firefighter? It's so long.
I mean, I think Gold hasn't even waited to see like what they were talking about having suits because she's already got one.
So you just dove
So-
in.
Yeah.
All right, roll maneuver.
She's already going.
Roll maneuver.
My maneuver's so bad. I only have 2. The other 2 are
Oh no!
shock dice. I'm
Holy.
rolling so great today,
Oh
Jeff.
wow!
You shatter your air suit and die.
How
many
many?
edges is
How many
that?
shock? How
2.
Oh, okay. So we gotta pull up the.
Uh-oh.
Let me pull up the middle shock. Not moderate. What's the second one? Severe, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's severe shock. So
Level
lose
2.
control of present surroundings and any held items, or a couple of things.
-2 to all tests,
Okay.
and I lose control of present surroundings and any held items.
Okay.
Thankfully, I'm not holding anything yet.
Okay. So we're gonna say as you climb down the chute, you completely lose. Like maybe you do one
My
last.
grip.
You do one last look at Jane. Just kind of like with your big old snout, and then down you go, and then all anyone can hear is thump, 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 and then you land smack dab right on top. Of
Stop
Tamara.
doing stuff for Jane. It makes you bad.
I'm not
So
doing
great.
it for Jane.
And you go stumbling down. Oh my god, this is so bad. So you're gonna take. All right, I gotta roll 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so this amount is whatever success is plus 2. So that's 4 successes. That's 4 points of damage you take from the fall.
Okay.
And you are prone, and you stumble all over the place. Do you have a weapon?
I did not out, but I do have
on
one.
your hip or something.
Yeah.
We're gonna say it comes disconnected as you fall, and it slides a few meters away.
Okay.
And then you, as you're kind of coming to, you can see that there's the people who were refueling, the Red Ringers, clearly have noticed you. They didn't notice. They actually, strangely enough, didn't notice Tamara at first because, they succeeded on going down and then just. But now they're moving in your direction. Okay, so then up in the tower, I think both Dalente and Dalente, you have a suit or don't have a suit?
No, I'm getting one.
Okay, so you're getting one. All right. So while the two of you are are suiting up in some really basic like utility thing, I don't know the names of the items. I'm sorry, but it's not gonna. We're just gonna flavor suit you up a bit here. We're gonna say it's gonna take you basically 3 minutes for the two of you to get suited up in this thing. As that's happening, like Jane is talking to you, Dalente, and is just just like, oh my God, she's gonna get herself killed. She's gonna get herself killed. Those idiots. Oh God. And she's like, yeah, Kiara can probably ain't gonna kill her, but the other two will. Oh God. And so she's just. You get the sense that she knows a little bit about who's out there, Dalente, and also Aylari.
Anything you want to share that might help us here?
I told you just should have just stayed in the lounge. You could have put the fire out. Everyone would have been fine. Instead, now you got two dead friends out there. They're unconscious. But you got... And she points out the window. And she points to this Thren. Got the suit on and stuff. Lagging a little bit behind what looks like two humans who are now approaching the base of the tower. You're about to lose sight of them because of how high you're up. The angle isn't quite right as you're waiting for Aylari to finish suiting up, and you're like, someone's zipping you up from behind, maybe Jerry. And she says that there's Kiardican doll. She's an F3. You know what F3 is, right?
Of course.
Do you know what F3 is?
No.
Okay. F3, but we'll say, sure. It's the Free Frontier Front is the name of the organization. It is dedicated to system independence for all star systems and is known to take fairly extreme measures to reach this goal. Now, originally she said that these were members of the Red Ringers, which were more of like a criminal organization that they just want profit and all that kind of stuff. And so she kind of goes and she's like, if the other two find out that they got some kind of, idealist in there using them and stealing the profit, it ain't gonna go well for her. You gotta get down there quickly. You might be able to get them fighting each other or something.
See, this is why you don't just hide, because these things will just keep happening if you just keep hiding. So this is why we take action.
What? What are you talking about? Two people are gonna die now. Definitely one is suffocating. They're dead. They're dead. If you would have just stayed in there and put the fire out, everyone would have been fine. They would have taken a shuttle. You would have hung out for a couple days until a new shuttle arrived. It's fine. You would have hung out. I would have given you some more high C and some more wine coolers, and everyone would have been happy. It would have been fine. But no. Whatever. Don't listen. It's fine.
Nope. Things won't change unless you take action, and we'll take care of them. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Overconfidence spewing from Dalente.
So down. So we're gonna shift then as it's taking you time to get ready. So down below, we're gonna say a couple minutes are gonna have to pass before Long is able to get back into this. But these two individuals are charging towards where Ashley has unfortunately fallen, or I should say Gold has unfortunately fallen. Gold, why don't you go ahead and make a initiative roll? And I'm going to say, because you stumbled, take a -2 to this.
Okay.
All right?
So I'm just going to roll the 12.
was like, oh, it'll be fine.
Hold on.
Who would
wait.
have thought? Try to impress an old B. Arthur
Women make me nervous. Okay.
would have led us to this.
My foundry's like dying. If
You can go ahead and
okay.
refresh. You can go ahead and refresh.
There we go.
Free to push the
Alright.
macro again after you refresh.
Thank you.
I'm going to let's see what I got. Oh my god, that's terrible. All right, so 9.
There you go, gold.
Okay. Oh. You don't want to see what I'm writing in my notes right now. That was a really bad. That was a really bad acronym. All right, so, and we'll say that the other one is kind of hanging back a bit, kind of letting them take care of stuff. So, all right. So, Gold, you just fell. You're in pain. Your gun just scattered a few meters from you. And you see these two individuals who are racing towards you. You've got your friend, your long droopy eared Thren friend, laying below you. You can, like, they're literally dying. It's gonna be just a few minutes before they're dead.
Okay.
You're prone. What do you want to do? I'm gonna say that they're about 10 meters from you.
Oh, thank God. Thren don't know that you can't breathe in space. Here I'm just trying to clean. Spill pasta sauce.
And I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna try and just throw him on my shoulder and climb
I'm getting
back up.
flashbacks to the meat and cheese consortium.
I know, right?
Yes, yes.
Oh god.
I may or may not be channeling Miss Chuffweck.
Oh god, Miss Chuffwick. Okay.
Yes.
Our Electric Bastion land game. That was fun. Okay. So I'm gonna say roll communication, but I'm gonna negatively modify this. Primarily because one of the main excuses you said was that Thren don't know that they can't breathe in space.
Specifically this one.
And the third, yeah, and like the other person who hung back while these two humans came up is Thren. So,
Oh shit. Okay.
so go ahead and take a -1 to this
Okay.
to your communication. Don't forget your edge. Oh wow. And this is we're gonna test this with their is it insight? I think. Let me see if they got anything.
Do you have 1 or 2 edge, Ashley?
I get 2 edge, so I am taking.
Oh,
Okay.
But can't one of my successes cancel my edge? Did we establish that or no?
Sure, we'll do
I
that.
don't think.
I don't know if it's true or not, but we'll do it just because we're closing in on the end here. Just to make it a little. That's the wrong. Just checking one thing really quick.
Sweep, 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 sweep. Don't mind me. Sweep, sweep, sweep.
You think you can talk negatively about women? Not in my workplace.
All right. I'm gonna say that they're looking at they're not immediately gonna believe you if you take the shock instead of canceling it out. We'll say
Okay, I'll take the shock.
okay. So you take another shock. So you're gonna have -2 on any future like kind of communication rolls.
Okay.
And okay, so they come up. They've got guns. They're pulling them out. Looks like they've got like one of them's carrying what looks like some kind of service pistol. Kind of lowers it at you, and they say, and because we've established this is the tri-state area, they say, "What are you doing? What the hell are you doing down here? You ain't part of utilities. What the hell?
Well, I mean, I fix things.
You fix things."
But like, yeah.
And I'm in the full maintenance rig suit and stuff.
Yeah, but you're not wearing like their bright. I'm just calling it bright orange because why not? So they're like,
Okay. The prison orange.
it calls back, hey boss, what do you want us to do with this one? You want us to just take this one out? What do you want us to do? And the other one's like,
Yeah, let's take him out. Yeah, let's go ahead and just shoot him. Yeah, let's just take
Are
him
you
out.
kidding me? I'm so good at fixing stuff.
and then from the back you hear just like this high pitched, nah, that's okay. Nah. We don't want nobody's. If we can get away from it, no reason to get about it. Let him go. We're almost done here. We're fueling up pretty fast. It's fine. Just let him go. Just let him go. And so
Thank you, sugar.
they let you pick up the body and carry it, and they're watching you the whole time. They got a gun on you this whole time, and like the two humans are still kind of following. One of them's like bent over, like,
Nah, I think we should shoot him. I think we totally should shoot him.
like no. Do what the boss says. The boss says not to shoot him, so we ain't gonna shoot him. Like it's fine. It's what it is. It's what it is. She's right. We don't want any heat coming down on us. It's fine. And so they want, like, the whole time fueling is still happening. I'm gonna roll a die and see how long this is sort of taken, because we broke initiative a little bit. Hasn't taken too much longer. The door opens, okay, and you hear a shout from the from behind, like, why don't you do to them what we did to the operator? Make sure, put them with them. Like, yeah, okay, boss, we got it. We'll do that. And so they start to follow you inside, and they're kind of flanking you. And at this point, we'll say that you get into like this.
Back in air.
Yeah, you're back in air, so it closes. You don't regain consciousness necessarily there long, but you are at least out of the immediate threat for death. How about we have a scrutiny? I think it's scrutiny test for Aylari and Dalente. I think it's scrutiny. Yeah. I'm just trying to see if you hear any of like the conversation, what's happening. You can roll this too, there, Aylari.
Ooh. I got a 1 on my edge dice.
Okay. Yeah, you can't hear anything. You guys didn't even hear the door open. There's too much like ambient white noise. There's a lot of like sound in the room here, and you've already lost sight of them because they're like below you, the angle of the tower. Yeah, you go ahead and reach. Okay.
I really don't hear anything.
Okay. So then.
Jerry is just chatting away back there.
Yeah, it's not only that, but it's just like all the different systems. You hear the crackling from the terminal where you yanked out the slate. There's like this random pirate voice that sort of comes in every now and then, like from like that little thing that was on the slate terminal. But you guys don't hear as they approach, and like they're talking a little bit away. Oh, thank you for the raid there. Hang on a second. Something creative. I am PE creative. No, that's not right. Lamp E creative. Thank you very much for the raid. We are playing Change Stars. Melissa, you want to drop the link?
Will do.
Okay. And we're getting pretty close. Things have gone strange. We're in Space Jersey, Space New Jersey. So you guys don't hear them approach. And suddenly, as you finish zipping up Aylari, you spin around and you see coming through a door back into the traffic control center. You can see that there is your friend Gold. She's got over top of the shoulder is Tamara, but there's these two figures. Both have guns out, and they're following their whole way. And they notice you all. Like, what is this? And they went rushing all of a sudden. I'm gonna let them, because you guys failed your scrutiny test. They're gonna like be right there, and I'm gonna let them go ahead and get a kind of a quick shot off, as they're just gonna fire at each of you. So each one of you is gonna take a shot, and then we'll go into initiative.
All right.
So one of them is gonna fire a service pistol D6. We'll say this one's gonna go at Aylari, and then this other one will go. We'll say this one's got a shotgun, and this one's going to go after a Heliocore 500 shotgun. Is going to lower this in the direction of Dalente. All right, how did I do? I got 1 success on the service pistol. Take 2 points of damage onto Aylari as they push as they push Gold out of the way, and you see the body of Tamara goes tumbling onto the ground, and a gunshot rings out inside the control tower as you take a shot from the service pistol. Then the shotgun also rings out, and this sends like all sorts of papers and wires and stuff flying as it hits a huge spread, and it's going to do 2 points of damage to our Dalente core. Remember
So
to go.
I have 4 armor points from my impact vest, and
Okay.
then an additional armor point from the space suit that I was putting on.
Go ahead, and both of you can roll your armor first. So all you got to do is roll whatever your armor rating is. Just roll that many d6s. If you get any successes, that reduces damage. So you don't take any damage.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and both of you roll initiative now. Gold, I already have yours. You're fine.
And it was plus what again?
Alacrity plus what?
That's right.
D12.
D12.
Oh, that's right. 14.
Oh man. Oh,
16.
you guys. Awesome rolls. So 16 for. Boy, I tell you, if Jane wasn't already in love with the heroism of Dalente, getting a 16 on initiative. I'm pissed at Ashley off so much.
No.
Right? It's not my fault. It's the dice.
This is
the
my
dice.
gay sadness.
This is our.
All the women I try to
side plot.
love.
Sorry. I'll put somebody for you to love in our Worlds Without Number game tomorrow.
I'm scared.
Well, I did already, but you let them all drown and die. So
I'm
it's
going
fine.
for the plant man now.
Dalente, you're up. You just got shot with a shotgun
I'm gonna take aim and shoot.
by someone from Queens who moved out to Jersey when they wanted to, they wanted to live somewhere a little cheaper. Got to the Meadowlands every weekend, watch the Jets play. Anyone get the score on the Mets game? I feel like we're playing Delta Green again. Oh
I'm here
God.
for Jim Chan laundry.
I'm gonna go ahead and reach.
Okay, go ahead.
So
Oh goodness.
Oh,
my edge is up to 3, and I'm now
that
rolling.
is so many.
Someone needs the edge break. I want to get an edge break before we finish.
Oops. Ignore the last one at the end. I
That's fine.
got
Yeah, that's fine.
happy. Oh my gosh.
Gosh.
This.
Jane is like, you know what? I'm just gonna go talk to Eleanor. See ya. And she just starts to wander back to lounge one. Maybe it's just been one of those things where, we just hate each other so much we fall in love. Do you want to move?
Enemies to lovers, Jeff.
Did you want to move at all, Dalente?
I had. I forgot my +2 for aiming. That's what it was.
Okay, yeah, roll your
I knew
extra
there
2.
was a +2 for something. And then the second time.
Okay.
I
Jeez. Okay, you're just firing all over the place. Jerry is just unfortunately you shoot Jerry, he falls down. And then Aylari, it's your turn.
Okay. I want to try my orator talent, which is your words sway hearts and minds when attempting. So, what is a group considered in this game? Because it says when attempting to convince an entire group of something, I gain a +2 mod to my empathy tests.
I'll consider the two of them group. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So after being shot, we'll say it's like shot in the arm, grazed me kind of thing. A will kind of like break into laughter and then point to the 2 humans and say, you guys aren't really that smart. That shuttle that you're fueling up, that you're planning to escape on, why do you think it was so easy this time around? Why do you think there was such little resistance? Why do you think there was a whole group waiting for you? Do you know how many more people are on this station waiting for you to take off in that so that they can just easily shut it down and then just have you captured? The shuttle that you want, they're coming for your shuttle right now. And I point to the one they're fueling up. I'm like, so they're taking, and I'm like trying to name off like different wings that they're taking. I'm like, you should take the shuttle that they came on so that while they're trying to catch you in this one, you can escape in theirs.
Okay. Communication test -1.
Okay.
Modified.
So with the orator, it's +2. With the -1 plus all the other things. I gotta add this all up.
Bye, Jen.
So
Thanks for hanging out.
It'll be 10 total. Only one success of 10 die.
Okay.
You roll your edge.
Oh no, I did not.
All right.
We're good.
Okay. You still got a success. So I'm gonna say it's contest. This is gonna be contested with insight. They have none of, but they still do get the 3. So 3d6s here. They get 1 success, despite only having the 3 die, the 3 in empathy.
Am I able to reach?
Yeah.
To try and beat that? Okay, so then roll another 10. Well, another 11, right? Because of the edge.
Yeah,
Yep.
you +1 on it.
Cool.
Can't remember if you
Wow.
Oh my
God
gosh.
damn, dude. Are you
did-
kidding me?
you guys are
Both
just
of us.
Rolling
Imagine
so
rolling
2
well
weeks in a row now with our
10
die rolls.
d6 and not getting a single 6.
So they're gonna hesitate. So what I'm gonna say is they're gonna hesitate enough so that on their turns they're probably, I'm gonna say, no side action, because they're gonna like talk to each other for a minute. Like, does this make sense to you? Like, nah, what the hell is this guy? You don't even. They didn't know. There ain't no Rast who worked here. What are we doing? So yeah, they're gonna hesitate ever so slightly, but they're not gonna like fully buy in just yet. They're not here. Gold, it's your turn.
I don't know if we really want. Do we want to fight these guys?
They want to fight you.
The
They
dice didn't
do.
agree with my plan.
They didn't agree with Melissa's plan to fight him either.
Yeah, we're 0 for 2 so far.
Started blasting that poorly.
I don't mean to like concern you guys, but the communication jammer has been removed, and the pilot guy did hit the emergency button, so you guys probably want to skedaddle if you want to get out in time. My
Okay.
mouth is zipped shut, but
Okay.
your window very small.
I'll say, I mean, you could, if you want to, if you're trying to break out of combat, so they want you to just roll communicate. Same thing.
Okay.
We'll say, yeah, just go ahead and roll communicate, and I'll say because there's already been this negotiation started, I won't necessarily penalize you. We'll say that the work that Aylari did manages to like, they're talking about it now. So we'll say no -1. So just roll your normal communicate versus their. Oh my gosh, guys.
And I take a shock.
Yeah, and so you can't reach since you're taking a shock. And did he never took your -2 penalty to the empathy, did you? That's all right.
We
So
can add that there because I already failed.
yeah, okay. So yeah, they look at you, and they look at the slate on the ground. And they look at you, and they look at the others. Yeah, you might be right. But it sure sounds really noisy in here for a place that's supposed to be working. I'm pretty sure no one's going to hear us when we take you out. So, sorry. The dice just doesn't want this. They
me
don't
to
want you to
die.
find love, and they don't
They
want
don't
you
want
to
me to
live.
live.
All right, so the one guy, I think he's going to go ahead and he's going to fire.
Well, would that be both of my actions?
We'll say that's like you attempted a skill test, so I usually rule it as
That's
like
the
if you're
main.
taking a test, that's your main action. So if you want to move, like you can do that.
Can I throw Tamara? Like on one of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, you can. So heroic. What do we want to do for this? This sounds. Oh God. It's definitely. I don't think ballistics makes sense. It seems more like physical, right? Maybe
Maybe like melee.
endurance. You could do
Oh,
melee
endurance would
if
be
you.
good.
Yeah, that's fine. Do endurance. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, ballistics. I'm firing this Thren friend of mine.
Okay. Do they all cancel out?
Just
Is
because
that
it's
what that does?
freaking hilarious. No.
Okay.
Well, how many of those are shock?
Just the last 2.
Okay, so you're taking a moderate shock. And did you take
For
your...
a 6?
Oh, just the last 2. I'm sorry, my bad. I thought you meant the last 2 ones.
No.
Shouldn't your... I think your edge at this point should be higher, shouldn't it? I think you have more than 2. I think you should have more than 2 at this point.
Oh, then I need to roll 1 more.
I think you've pushed a lot, or reached a lot tonight. Okay.
2.
All right. We'll say you throw it at one of them. We're gonna call him Rudy. You throw the thing at Rudy, and Rudy goes stumbling to the ground. We're gonna say it's gonna knock him down to the ground. Gun kind of goes scattering a few meters away. And how about this? Just because it's a one shot, and I don't want Long to not do anything. Long, roll a resilience test to see if you are awoken from this getting tossed into another human.
You only have 2 resilience.
I'll say take a +2 because you're being thrown into a person.
Oh no!
That is
That's
beautiful.
the nice
What does that
rolls.
mean? Does that
Jeff,
mean
you really
he's
should have
dead?
made it +6 so we could have 6 ones. How dare you
Dice
try
a
and
one.
be nice?
If
What
you
is
roll
wrong
2
with
more
you?
ones or two more dice.
Yeah,
we'll
roll
be
2 more.
back.
If we roll 2 more ones, just end stream. Don't even give it goodbye.
Roll.
Everything
Okay.
blows up.
Okay, I was gonna say,
The-
like
the
the
world
fuel
has been
tank
reset.
explodes, just takes the whole base out. All of New Jersey is finally gone. Okay, yeah. So you're gonna get thrown into this thing. They're gonna take. I'm gonna say that they take damage, because they just got a person thrown at them. But you're standing right there. Then their turn's gonna come around. There's now on top of them is a Thren. I'm gonna say their action is going to be to push Tamara off of them and then stand. Like that's the entirety of their turn. The other one, however, with the shotgun, is gonna lower it again. This time I think they're gonna lower it, I think, still at Dalente. And they're gonna take a shot at Dalente.
Bring it.
And so 7 dice, 2 damage. Let me see this. Do I have to reload? No, not yet. So I'll aim then, since everybody else is. Okay. So that's gonna be, we're making it fast. 5 points of damage. Do you want to roll your armor? I'm sorry, not 5. 4 points of damage. Okay, 4 points of damage to Dalente.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. You're fine. You just took a shotgun. Okay. Back to the top of the round. It's your turn.
All right. I'm going to return fire.
Okay. At which one? The one who's firing at you, I assume?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Return fire. Duh, I'm stupid. All right, go ahead.
So I am rolling 15 dice, 3 of which are edge.
Here comes 15 ones.
What? 15? Oh
All
my
right.
god.
Oh,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Oh my god.
And one
That's
6 on it.
amazing.
Jersey is finally gone. You clip that. Oh, there goes our Jersey audience. Let's see.
Damage is 1.
Damage is 1. They have armor. They do have armor. Okay. 5d6. I get none. So what's the total damage?
5, I think.
All right, it's going to dig into their health. Through all their stamina, as you fire at them, you see a hole open up in their suit as you definitely breach through their armor at that point. Aylari, your turn. They at this point, they don't seem to be buying the whole, we better talk ourselves out of this. Yeah.
for my side action, I will, I guess, draw my pistol, which is just a S7 service pistol, and then attack the one that just got shot by Dalente.
Okay.
So now it's, I haven't done this yet. Would it just be ballistics and the weapon modifier, or would it still take in alacrity?
Yeah, ballistics, alacrity, and then if
Okay.
you have a weapon modifier, you add it as well.
Okay. 7 dice total. And the edge dice as well, so that's another 2. Wow. Okay. I got a minor trauma, or think of, yeah, minor trauma.
Okay. You fire your gun, and we'll do the same thing we did before because I think it's funny. And like your arm, like the recoil on the gun, it just kind of throws your arm, and you're not used to probably firing a gun so often. Your hands kind of numb. You'll take a -2 on your next shot.
Okay.
And what's total damage?
2 damage, and I got 2 successes. So would that be 4 damage total?
It'd be 3 total damage. It'd be 2 for,
Oh, yeah,
two
that's
for
right,
the
that's
first attack, and then 1 if you're adding the extra one. Are you doing it the same one that Dalente shot at?
Yeah.
And they fall. As I drop. Sorry, I dropped my pen. Okay. So technically I'm supposed to roll a wound, but we're getting close to the end, so I'm just going to say they fall, and that's good for now. But there is a wound table for different NPCs are handled slightly differently. Humans, usually you roll an injury table of some kind. In some cases, it actually might be a grievous injury. It's kind of cool. I like tables, injury tables, and stuff like that. But for the sake of expediency, because I know Ashley's got to get going, we're going to say they just fall. So they're out. Then it's going to move to Gold's turn. The one that you threw the body at and just stood up, their gun, they don't have their gun on them. Their friend just got blown away by Aylari and by Dalente. What would you like to do?
I want to ruin their life support, like on their suit. So if they try and run away, they'll suffocate.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. All right. So you're gonna try to get up. You're gonna move up to them and just try to like rip out whatever kind of breathing apparatus they have.
yeah.
Okay. Let's see. We'll do.
I got
Alright.
4 arms.
We'll do. Take your mechanics, but
Okay.
so take your mechanics bonus and your alacrity. We'll say that. We'll because you're still trying to physically get there fast enough, but it's your knowledge that's gonna modify it.
3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. So yeah, you
got a
reach
shot.
over and you yank away at their tank, and there's a little and they're like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? I'm just a dock worker." Okay.
And I do get a shock.
Oh boy.
Just a minor one.
So what's your like? See, this is what I mean. I feel like your edge is fairly high at this point.
I have 3. I've
think you're-
pushed 3 times.
I think you're up higher than that actually.
Was
Okay.
it?
So we'll
I'll do
say
fourth one.
we'll say because it was we'll say that you okay, you reach over and they manage to like just sort of shove you off, like you're able to get that out, but like they kind of shove you off and you stumble and you trip on top of your Thren friend and you go like tumbling a little bit, and now you're just like prone on the ground. All right, it's their turn. They're and they look over at where Aylari and Tamara, and Aylari and Dalente are got their guns. They're training them now, and this other. They look at their friend on the ground, like, "Oh, Rudy, what you doing?" And then they turn and they're gonna run down these stairs towards the corridor, still kind of grasping at that. Dalente, what do you want to do?
Shoot at that one.
Okay, they're out of sight, so you have to chase them. So they ran.
Yeah.
So they're going downstairs and going towards that door. So you're running after them.
Yep.
Did you have to reload your gun at all?
I'm not quite sure.
Okay.
If I'm running, we'll
Does
just
it,
say that I
does it
really
have
don't
an
know I'm
am
running.
like does it have an ammo stat?
3.
Okay. How many times have you shot?
More than 3.
Okay. So we'll say that you're running and reloading, but you don't get a shot off this round.
Okay.
Okay. Then Aylari, what do you want to do?
I'll also chase this person that ran away and try and shoot them. So I guess, yeah, I should be able to do that, right?
Same
Oh,
question
no,
to
I
you,
guess
but
not.
you've only fired your gun once, so I think you're okay.
Yeah, my ammo is 2, so I have one more shot.
Yeah,
in it.
you have one more shot. So go ahead. So you run and you get up next to Dalente, who's kind of reloading the gun, and you lower. They're going right next to. They're right almost to the door that goes out onto the landing pad. You lower the gun and you fire. Go ahead.
And then -2 from the thing that I had, the shock that I had from last time, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Nice.
better.
That's another 3 damage.
That's
Did
going
you
to
roll your
get
edge?
Yes.
that's going to get into their health. All right. So they get shot. So you clip them. Then it's Gold. It's your turn. You've fallen prone. You're laying on top of poor Tamara. Tamara, I'm going to say at this point, you wake up and you see the pasta-covered face of Tamara within some sort of vac
I'm
suit
just
here,
like breathing heavily above you.
laying on top of you.
It's been such a long day.
She's gonna roll over.
Okay.
Get off him basically, and
Okay.
then stand up.
All right. And then I'll say you can go ahead. We'll say you have 1 HP, Tamara. You hear gunfire go off down the stairs next to you. What do you want to do? Your throat is dry and burning. The last thing you remember is falling down a chute, and then like everything went black. What do you want to do?
And you woke up to me.
That's the face that you woke up to, covered in pasta sauce.
I'll regain my bearings. Where are we? What's going on?
You look around. You can see that there's a body laying on the ground a few feet from you, bleeding. It's one of the utility workers or the workers that were outside that were fueling up your shuttle, trying to steal your shuttle. You see that as you kind of peer down the stairs as you're getting up, you can see both Dalente and Tamara, who are chasing the other guy who's right up against the door to go outside. You watch as Dalente is just loading up a weapon, but Aylari, I guess your names are Aylari and Tamara. I keep getting screwed up. Aylari fires the gun and shoots. So you get up. I'll give you an action if you want to do something.
I'll just get up and move for now. Just follow.
Okay, so you're just gonna follow them. Okay, so as you wander down, they're going to, because they're stupid. They're gonna open the door and they're gonna run outside and they're gonna close the door behind them and they're like shouting the whole time, not to you guys, but it sounds like they're shouting into a communicator. I'm gonna roll the same thing I rolled against Long when he fell. So when you fall, there's a hazard roll. I like the way they do hazards in the game because like there's the base amount that it does to you, and then you get like bonus die on top of it. So if a character goes outside while lacking any source of life support, and you have damaged or interrupted their life support, the cold and lack of readily breathable air consists of a hazard that does 4 damage. Then you roll 8 more dice on top of it. Add any 6s you get. Suffered at the beginning of each turn they are out in this environment. This is defended only by endurance, not armor. So I'm going to go ahead and roll 8 dice. They are not doing well. I got 1 success, +4, +5 as they're calling like, get the shuttle going, get the shuttle going. And they slam the door shut. And then you guys can't see them anymore, so you don't know what happened. Dalente, what do you want to do?
I'm opening that door.
Okay. So you run down, you open the door, and it's just like, I want it. And as you push it open, you realize you're pushing up against what looks like the body of this other individual have fallen down. Roll a scrutiny test really quick as you open the door and you look out on the landing pad. Now you roll the 6s.
Well, 3 of those were all on my edge dice.
It's okay. They're still 6s. They still count. Everything you do is you have to avoid the 1s on your edge dice.
Okay.
Because that's how you get shocks. But 6s on edge die are fine.
I see all.
You see that not only is this guy on the ground in front of the door, sort of semi-blocking it, looks like he was trying to move, didn't really notice the severity of what had happened to his life support system, but you watch as the doors of the shuttle are closing, and you don't see any sign of the Thren that was out here. And you see the door, like the bay doors, the pilot doors, so everything's closing down, and the shuttle's beginning to power up.
And
Just
this
a
is
heads
our
up.
ship?
Melissa, you got a super twist.
Super
So
twist,
if you
that's
do
right.
another scrutiny test, you do it automatically if I'm recalling correctly.
That's right. Thank you.
Thank you for that reminder. I like the super twist. And didn't you you had one earlier too? Didn't you, Derek?
I don't remember if it was
Melissa
me. I
had
think
one.
yeah, I think it was Melissa.
Yeah, it was right at the end of the
Okay.
combat, though.
Yeah, it was an automatic hit. That's right. We forgot about that. So we'll carry it forward. We'll say you'll get it if you want. Okay. So we'll say that's what you see when you open the door. That's your turn. Door's open, which means if Aylari, if you want to run in through it, you could. So you're up, Derek.
So the shuttle powered up, but it's not taking off yet.
It looks like it's in the process of powering up, and like it's
Oh,
it's not
I
like
see.
it's a car. You just hit the gas pedal. There's probably like
Yeah. How far is it from the door? You said it was 20 meters,
Let me take a look.
or is the hallway 20 meters?
Double check again. 20 meters. The exit is 20 meters from the landing pad's southern edge, and so it's just probably a couple extra meters into the landing pad. So we'll say 25 meters away.
Okay. I think my person can only move 6 meters, but I think isn't there an action where you can?
You can dash and move double your
Yeah.
speed.
Yeah. So I'll basically dash toward the shuttle.
Okay. All right. So you dash towards the shuttle. I would also say that with those tons of successes on the scrutiny test, you do notice that next to the shuttle, there is a very large fuel tank. Just throwing that out there. Come around to Gold. Gold, you're up. You're probably relieved as you see your friend Tamara is up and is right now going down the stairs in the direction of your other two friends who have just opened an airlock door going out back into the environment that caused this person to fall down, and they're still not wearing any protective life support gear.
Gold is
Tamara, darling, I think you forgot that you can't breathe out in space. You have to stay inside.
and she'll like waddle over, kind of like grab him with like her other two inner arms and just pick him up and like take him over to a window
Okay.
and be like,
You can look out the window, but you can't actually go out
Okay.
without suit.
Okay.
I'll find a suit.
All right. So you go scrounge around for a suit, and I'm gonna say just for the sake of this, because it's gonna take a while for you to put that on.
can I do one more action?
Sure. Go ahead. What'd you like to do?
I want to see if I can repair like the comms unit.
Okay. The comms are working again. It's just a little still sporadic. Whatever you did
And I want to
when
call
you
Space
yanked.
911.
Okay, you call Space 911.
Yeah.
Whatever you did by yanking out the slate seems to have left some lingering damage to the terminal, which is causing some intermittent communication problems still. But it's not like it's still kind of working. But you call Space 911, and you get a voice. You've got Space 911. This is your operator speaking.
There has been an emergency at the space station.
And she'll say which one she's at.
Yeah, we got all sorts of strange reports. We're trying to contact you for a while. What's going on there? What can you
They
tell
were
me
like-
about the situation?
There's like pirates, and they came and they're
There's
trying
pirates. Oh
Yes.
my god. Okay.
And it's just they kind of lose the point of the call and they're just talking.
Oh really? Yeah. Do you use the orange spray too? Is that out of style now?
No, I still use that one
Okay.
every day.
We got the marshals heading over with some support staff already. They're due
You're
any
such a
moment.
doll.
They'll be there. Thank you. That's a good thing. Dolls, right? Okay.
Yeah.
This entire thing is just so Ashley I could speak as Jersey to people
Yeah.
doing it. Sorry. Okay. So, out on the pad, you can see both of you that are on the pad. So this is Aylari and Dalente. You both see that the shuttle is powering up. Dalente, you finished loading your weapon. You're right at the door. You're still about 25 meters away from the shuttle itself. What would you want to do?
Did you say there was a fuel tank
There's a fuel tank here.
on, like, in the? Am I damaging my own ship, or I'm just making an?
It's not
explosion in
your
the
ship.
area?
It's like a
We
it's
were
like
just
it's a
gonna ride
yeah.
on
You
it.
guys were
It's like an Uber.
yeah, or like
We
can catch
or
the
like it's
next
Delta.
Then I'm shooting the gas tank.
And you have that automatic success from
I
the
do have
shot.
the
You have the automatic success. Yeah, you have the okay.
Automatic cool guy
There
explosion.
we go. Super twist spent.
Oh boy. Okay. Let me read this. Yeah, there's something for this. Okay. So, if shot, it's going to cause an explosion, impacting everything on the landing pad or nearby on the ground. I think that's the two of you on the landing pad. So I know the Aylari. Well, actually say you guys are fairly close.
I could do a move first, so I can like move myself in front of Aylari and then take the shot.
Okay. Hang on one second. Let me just roll these 12d6s really fast. Okay. So you move up. How close do you want to get?
Not.
Okay. So you're right next to Aylari. You the two of you are still. We're gonna put it because I said it was 20 meters to get to the landing pad. You double moved, and so you got maybe about 12 meters in. So you're not right up on the landing pad yet, but you're on the outskirts. And you watch as your friend Dalente moves up next to you, lowers her gun the gun in the direction of the gas tank, and fires. And it's a perfect shot as it explodes. And this huge inferno just sweeps over the whole landing pad, knocking the shuttle like askance, and it starts sliding in different directions. You see all sorts of secondary explosions begin to erupt on the shuttle. You can see that there's all sorts of like little crates, and looks like a forklift over to the side that just goes hurling through the air. And the two of you see this.
Through the what?
What? What did I say?
Hurtling through the what?
Did I say
Through
air?
space.
Air.
We're in space.
You're not in space. You're on a moon. There is an atmosphere. It's just not
okay.
breathable.
Okay.
And so it's going, but fair enough. It goes hurling all over the place. The fiery inferno is going to come in the direction of you all too. But I'm going to say, because you're a little bit farther away, I'm going to say you're not going to take the full brunt of it. But I still do want you both to roll your endurance to see. And I'm going to say you're going to be taking half damage. But roll your endurance to see if you can mitigate some of this. Because right now it's 10 damage.
I just got a double fail on my edge. And then I got one success though, so there's that. I looked at the explosion, so I broke the Cardinal movie rule.
Oh goodness. Oh my god.
And I also got one.
What does this mean?
I have
as well.
seen so many. Okay.
Got a severe shock.
Okay. So I'm just reading the explosion rules really quick. Okay. You guys are pretty. It says six, unless otherwise stated. Okay, never mind. So never mind. That's not going to apply. It does actually apply like normal. So I'm going to say you guys take half. You're going to take half damage. So the half damage would have been 5. Each of you got a success, which would mitigate that one further. So both of you take 4 points of damage.
If my armor from this spacesuit doesn't I only have 3. I'm
No,
out of stamina, so I only have
endurance is going to do it here.
Oh.
Yeah, as the sheer force of the blast. Either of you out?
I mean, I only have 3 hit points.
Okay, so
if
you're
it does
out.
5.
You're broken. Okay. What about you, Melissa?
I'm good.
All right. So the two of you go flying backwards and slam against the wall of this tower.
Oh god.
And just because I'm curious, I'm gonna roll on the wound table for old Derek. Okay.
I'm shredded. I got a 6-pack from this.
Ripped.
So the two of you that are inside the tower, you see the explosion occur, and you watch as your two friends who were in view of you fly out of view as they're thrown backwards against the tower. You quickly go ahead and put your clothes, your suit on, Tamara, and then between the two of you, you run down, you open the door, you see your two friends laying on the ground. Dalente, the boss that Dalente is just getting up. But there is poor Aylari on the ground, like suit completely shredded, ripped apart. You're able to drag them inside, close the door a bit, and the 4 of you are inside. Jane comes rushing up, like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And she's looking at Dalente, looking at the ripped suit and stuff. She's got like, I got some aloe vera. 1 second, and so she goes. She's like all helping. Some Neosporin. It'll be great. And I just want to wrap this up at this point. We'll say while the shuttle is on fire and burning away, you guys are healing back in the tower control center. In rolls a few minutes later, you see showing up on these rovers the marshal of this moon and several people who are looking around. They got guns drawn. They're moving slowly. They open up the door to the ATC. And then you see Jane's like, no, they're good. And so, long story short, they get some fire suppression teams going to put the fire out. They take both Tamara and Aylari over to the med area in a different hab, get them some medical attention over the course of the next few days as you're waiting for a new ride to show up. Poor Gold, unfortunately, has to, while sitting there watching her two friends heal, has to watch the romance that is blooming now between Dalente and Jane. Begrudgingly so from Dalente's part, but eventually, after several days, some questioning by the marshal services, you are all allowed to leave, but asked to maybe not return, as the explosion damaged several key systems, ruined a landing pad, destroyed a shuttle. There's probably a cat somewhere that just got blindsided by the forklift that was flying through space. And I think that's where we're going to go ahead and end our Moonbase Layover adventure. Holy crap, man. The dice are weird.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
I've never seen 4 ones rolled before.
So many ones. I like how you finally get this crazy roll at the end. It's like this scrutinized roll.
Yeah. You can see everything. Can't shoot worth anything, but
awesome. So again, that was CHANGEDSTARS. If you're in the channel, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link one more time. It's up on Kickstarter now. It's gonna be on Kickstarter for a little while longer.
Yeah.
I don't remember the dates as of this now, but follow the link. I am backing it. There's also a quick start. That's what we just played. That's over on Drive-Thru. You can download that. Has both this adventure, this Moonbase Layover adventure, and also several pre-made characters, like some of the ones that you saw these fine folks playing. There's several others as well that you can kind of mess around with, different archetypes, different species, etc., and have a little fun with them. There's a few other actual plays out there that have been that have been messing around with the game as well during the Kickstarter campaign. You should definitely take a look. And if you want to see
the 27th,
up through the 27th, so you've got, as of right now, as of the recording of this video, as of the live play, 13 more days or abouts to get in on this. And you should definitely go check out DieselShot. They're twitch.tv/DieselShot, who the players, the people who run that channel are the creators of CHANGEDSTARS, and you can see all of the wonderful things that they put on. And I know that this month, clearly it's been a Kickstarter month and it's CHANGEDSTARS all day, every day. But they also play a bunch of other fun games. And yeah, we are big fans. As for us, we play other games as well. We usually play Mondays, Fridays, and Saturdays. So next week, I think we're going to get back to our Delta Green game, hopefully. Tomorrow, we're going to be on our channel at 6 Central. We're going to be playing our Worlds Without Number game, Welcome to the Husk, which is a sci-fantasy hex crawl, also with aliens. And on Monday, we'll be back here at 9 Central playing our Alien game, our Alien RPG, where I am collecting both kidneys and arms. I have 2 arms that I've ripped off various characters. It's very fun. But that's about it. Thanks for those of you who hung out tonight. Thanks for the couple of raids we got. Thanks for the bits. Thank you to Spider Queen Long, Pat. Thank you to DieselShot. Thank you for hanging out in the channel for us tonight. And thank you for a cool, fun game. This is a fun game, so definitely go check it out. We'll probably go ahead and raid somebody. Who's up? Defenders are up. Our friends over to Defenders, speaking of Alien, are playing Alien tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and drop us on the end screen, give them a raid. You can hang out and watch more wonderful sci-fi storytelling, space stuff.
Maybe more explosions.
Probably it's Chuck's stream, so
Chuck,
probably
there's gonna be
fire and
fire.
explosions. It's pretty much a guarantee. So good night, folks. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
They